The seemingly frail transfer student had a surprising effect on the school bully. He reacted like a mouse encountering a cat. The bully was even scared enough to wet himself, much to the amusement of the school's two biggest celebrities. Dujin infiltrated the prestigious Chable Academy, seeking revenge. He was originally an agent of a clandestine organization. After his boss was murdered, suspicion fell upon the nation's most formidable enterprise crime syndicate, Chairman Lee of the Siyun Group. Chairman Lee was responsible for the near deaths of all of Dujin's colleagues. That day, Dujin lost everything, until his sole surviving colleague informed him of something crucial. While Chairman Lee publicly claimed to have no heir, he actually had a well-hidden one. This heir attended the nation's most elite school. A direct confrontation was impossible, but they could target his son. After all, Chairman Lee wouldn't live forever. Sooner or later, the son would inherit his position. But aside from the son's existence, they knew nothing else. Infiltrating the school to investigate was their only option. Discretion was paramount, of course. Lost in thought, Dujin accidentally bumped into someone. He didn't think much of it, but the pink-haired boy held a grudge. The first day of class was uneventful. His companion frantically texted him reminders to stay low-key. But as soon as class ended, he was targeted. The pink-haired boy kicked at his desk. Dujin instinctively caught the pink-haired boy's foot, surprising him with his swift reaction. The hell? Shouldn't you apologize after bumping into someone? Dujin wasn't one to be bullied. What are you talking about? Seeing Dujin's defiance, the pink-haired boy asked the nearby Lu Haiyu, heard of any company CEO's daughter transferring recently. Lu Haiyu shook his head, clueless. Since there's no news, he must be a level 4. Seeing the confused look on Dujin's face, he condescendingly explained. This school has a strict social hierarchy. High-ranking officials and Chable families are level 1. Mid-sized companies are level 2. Popular celebrities and the nouveau riche are level 3. Level 4, bottom of the barrel. This school, is essentially a networking hub for the upper crust. Level 4s don't even have the right to speak to them. You're probably around that level. So if you don't want your life ruined, stay in line. With that, the pink-haired boy and his entourage left. Dujin found the whole situation bizarre, but his mission had become simpler. He only needed to investigate levels 1 and 2. He thought that was the end of it, but it was only the beginning. Dujin didn't have many hobbies, but he was particularly passionate about food. He was just about to enjoy a hearty meal when disaster struck. The pink-haired boy deliberately dumped food all over his table. Oops, my bad. Dujin scowled. Seriously, why am I constantly being targeted? Should I just eliminate him? The pink-haired boy continued his provocation, picking up a steak and tossing it aside. Dujin's composure snapped. He completely forgot his companion's warnings about staying discreet. In a flash, he grabbed the pink-haired boy, lifting him like a rag doll and slamming him onto the table. The pink-haired boy finally realized he'd messed with the wrong person, but it was too late. Before he could react, Dujin grabbed a fork and lunged. On his first day, he'd beaten the school's untouchable bully so badly he soiled himself. He also rescued a girl the bully was harassing. Just minutes ago, he'd nearly taken out the pink-haired boy's eye. The commotion brought him back to his senses. Crazy. Who does he think he is? How dare he touch Wang Jian? Surrounded by onlookers, Dujin's mind screamed, I'm screwed. He'd lost control again. The pink-haired boy sat paralyzed on the floor, his friends rushing to comfort him, only to discover, to their horror, that he'd wet himself. Dujin was consumed with regret. Suddenly, clapping erupted. A boy approached with a curious look on his face. That was amazing. I want to be your friend. What was your name again? Figuring it wouldn't hurt to make connections for his investigation, Dujin introduced himself. The boy replied, Han Jong-un, and asked for his number. Their simple exchange drew the attention of the surrounding students. Han Jong-un is asking the transfer student for his number. Who is this guy? Is he a level 1 too? Not wanting to attract further attention, Dujin gave Han Jong-un his number and quickly left. Han Jong-un stopped him. Let's grab a meal. Dujin turned to refuse, but Han Jong-un persisted. Aren't you hungry? I saw you didn't get to eat anything. No, thanks. How about a walk instead? I know a place with a great view. Han Jong-un's relentless persistence was overwhelming. Dujin, flustered, simply ran. He contacted his companion to investigate, but Han Jong-un's identity was shrouded in mystery. Even the most skilled hackers couldn't find any information. Don't always rely on me. The hacker, a self-proclaimed dating expert, advised. Get close to him. Leave school together naturally. Chat and casually ask about his family. Treat him to some food. Grab coffee maybe some karaoke. As it gets late, act like you don't want to go home. Ask him if he'll treat you to ramen, Baekmyo instructed. Doo-jin stared at his phone, bewildered. Seriously, this is going to work. Of course. Don't you trust me? Baekmyo hung up, leaving Doo-jin with a growing sense of unease. The last thing he heard was Baekmyo's insistent whisper, "Ramen is key." Emerging from the restroom, Doo-jin glanced nervously around, hoping to avoid another encounter with Han Jong-un. Thankfully, the coast seemed clear. But he hadn't made it far when he heard a frantic yell, "Give it back." It was Hwang Ji-yun, the pink-haired boy. Two other boys stood before him, smirking. "This is my phone. Why should I give it to you?" One of them sneered. "Then delete the photos. Why did you take pictures of me like that?" Hwang Ji-yun demanded. It turned out they had captured photos of his humiliating moment in the cafeteria and were planning to post them online. "Just try it," Hwang Ji-yun threatened, his voice trembling slightly. "What? Are you going to ruin my family?" One of the boys taunted. "Even if you don't care about me, you wouldn't dare mess with Henry, would you? My family is under his parents' protection. If you touch me, his family won't let you get away with it." Seeing Hwang Ji-yun's fear, the boys laughed cruelly. To think that the high and mighty Hwang Ji-yun would be reduced to such a pathetic state, one of them jeered. "I'm posting this. Any objections?" Just then, Doo-jin appeared, grabbing the boy's arm. "Who are you?" "Let go," the boy yelled. Doo-jin turned to Hwang Ji-yun. "What's going on?" he asked. Hwang Ji-yun hesitated, embarrassed, but finally blurted out, "He's going to post pictures of me." "You know, post pictures of you what?" Doo-jin pressed. "Wedding myself," Hwang Ji-yun finally admitted. "And it's all your fault," he added, glaring at Doo-jin. The other boy suddenly interrupted. "Are you two trying to get yourselves killed? Ignore me like this. You think I'm afraid to do something?" Doo-jin swiftly snatched the phone, handing it to Hwang Ji-yun. "Delete the photos and check for backups." Enraged, the boy lunged at Doo-jin, throwing a punch. Doo-jin easily dodged the blow and landed a sharp jab to the boy's chin. A sickening crack echoed through the air. The boy, just moments ago, so arrogant, crumpled to the ground, unconscious. With the bully dealt with, Doo-jin turned to leave with Hwang Ji-yun. The remaining boy, terrified, rushed to the side of his unconscious friend and called out for help. "Hutman, Hutman, what is it? What's wrong?" A voice responded. "Yuan Jun's been knocked out." "Who did this?" The boy pointed towards Doo-jin. "That transfer student, Lee Doo-jin." The voice, belonging to Hatman, expressed surprise. "You're kidding, right?" Meanwhile, Doo-jin was on the staircase, finally eating his lunch. "You should eat too," he offered Hwang Ji-yun. "I'm on a diet," Hwang Ji-yun replied, still consumed with curiosity. "Seriously, whose daughter is he? He just attacks people without a second thought. What kind of background does he have?" Doo-jin suddenly spoke. "I'm sorry. I didn't realize I bumped into you earlier. I was a bit distracted." Hwang Ji-yun was taken aback. He hadn't expected an apology. I should apologize too. I was out of line earlier," he mumbled awkwardly. Doo-jin observed him, realizing Hwang Ji-yun seemed uncomfortable with apologies. Once he'd finished his meal, he decided to get down to business. "Do you know Han Jong-un?" "Yeah, why?" Hwang Ji-yun asked. "Just curious what kind of person he is." Doo-jin replied casually. "What are you up to? Do you have a crush on him?" Hwang Ji-yun teased. Realizing his slip, Doo-jin quickly backtracked. "Just kidding. I'm sorry. Anjun is always smiling. Wang Fion Musha." It's a bit strange. When we first started here, a lot of upperclassmen came to check out the new students. You know Minister Wu Guangjik from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. His son was a pretty famous upperclassman here. He came to see the new students too. Han Jong-un accidentally bumped into him and apologized right away, but the upperclassmen took offense. Since nobody knew anything about Han Jong-un, they assumed he was a level 4. From that day on, things got tough for him. The upperclassmen kept picking on him. Han Jong-un always just smiled it off. We all thought he was just putting up with it because he was a scholarship student. Then one day, in art class, the upperclassman dumped a bucket of water on him. Normally, he would have just smiled and let it go. But not that day. The next day, the upperclassman was gone. Nobody ever heard from him again. That was the foreign minister's son. So everyone figured Han Jong-un must have some serious backing. The rumors started that Han Jong-un had him eliminated. How could I have eliminated him? Han Jong-un, who had apparently been listening the entire time, suddenly spoke, startling both Doo-jin and Hwang Ji-yun. "You have quite the imagination. How did you get here without making a sound?" Hwang Ji-yun asked, bewildered. "Come here," Doo-jin said, pulling Han Jong-un aside. He was worried about how much Han Jong-un had overheard. He also couldn't hold back any longer. pushing Han Jong-un against the wall. He demanded, "Why do you keep following me?" "Because I'm curious about you," Han Jong-un replied simply. Du-jin was at a loss. Why was this guy so fixated on him? "Do you have a crush on me?" Du-jin blurted out, almost against his will. To his surprise, Han Jong-un readily admitted, yes. Du-jin was speechless. Was he serious? Maybe he could use this. Thinking quickly, he decided to try Baek Myo's ridiculous suggestion. "So, can I?" He began hesitantly. "What do you want?" Han Jong-un asked, tilting his head. "Can I come over to your place and have some ramen before I go home?" Du-jin asked, cringing inwardly. Han Jong-un stared at him, stunned. So suddenly. "To my house?" "Yes, to your house," Du-jin confirmed, gritting his teeth. Han Jong-un was practically doubled over with laughter. "You're hilarious. All right, let's walk home together after school. I'll make you ramen." He was surprised that Baek Myo's suggestion actually worked. The bell had barely rung when Han Jong-un appeared. "Let's go." "Why the sudden craving for ramen? Weren't you avoiding me?" "I thought about it. Being friends with you doesn't seem so bad after all. But aren't your parents home? Would it be inconvenient if I went over?" "Don't worry, I live alone." No wonder he didn't even bother carrying a backpack. Du-jin thought, "I'm the one who should be asking, is this okay? Going to a guy's house you just met." Du-jin couldn't understand. What's wrong with that? It could be dangerous. Han Jong-un looked even more perplexed. Why would it be? Their banter continued as they reached their destination. "This is it. Kumin." The apartment was cleaner than Du-jin expected. "What do you want to drink?" "I have coffee and aloe vera juice." Du-jin's eyes lit up at the mention of refreshments. "Aloe vera juice, please." "Take a break. I'll have the ramen ready soon." Du-jin sipped his aloe vera juice, his eyes scanning the room. While Han Jong-un was busy, he began copying data from the computer. Is this really where someone lives? He thought, not a speck of dust. It's much more modest than the rumors suggest. He suddenly noticed a photo album under the table. It was filled with pictures of Han Jong-un as a child. But something was strange. He was always alone, and always expressionless. "Do you want eggs in your ramen?" Han Jong-un's sudden voice startled him. Du-jin quickly put the album back. "Is that even a question?" "Two, please." Got it. After Han Jong-un finished cooking, Du-jin wanted more aloe vera juice. "It's in the fridge. Could you grab it?" They were standing close together. As Du-jin reached for the fridge, he accidentally knocked over the pot of ramen, drenching Han Jong-un. "Ha! An yeonung kuraidao. Take your clothes off." Du-jin yelled, already starting to help. Moments later, Han Jong-un was in the bathtub. "I'm so sorry." Du-jin apologized. "It's really okay. It's not that bad." He poured ice into the water, but that was boiling water. How can it not be bad? Du-jin thought, closing his eyes in frustration. "I've caused so much trouble today. I need to focus." He looks skinny with his clothes on, but he's actually pretty built. And with what that pink-haired guy said earlier, could he possibly be? Du-jin's thoughts were interrupted. "Are you staring a little too intensely?" "I'm getting shy." Du-jin realized he'd been fixated on Han Jong-un's abs. "I wasn't staring at anything." He stormed out of the bathroom, flustered. "Come out in 10 minutes after you change." When Han Jong-un emerged, Du-jin was still thinking about the ruined ramen. "Come here and stand still." Du-jin started tending to the burns. "It's not too serious, thankfully, but it's a pretty large area. You should probably go to the hospital." He looked up and noticed Han Jong-un staring at him. "What are you looking at? You were so calm during the fight earlier, and now, while you're treating my burns, you look just like an assassin in a movie. Sit down. From now on, answer my questions truthfully. Why do you live alone?" "Because I want to." "Are you on bad terms with your family?" "Not bad terms, exactly. More like not great." "Why not?" Was Hwang Ji-yun telling the truth? "Answer properly." Han Jong-un was practically on the verge of tears. Du-jin, are you interrogating me?" Du-jin instinctively recoiled. "I just didn't expect you to be so curious about me." "So, where did you transfer from?" "A school in the suburbs." "Why did you transfer?" "Because I moved here." "Your parents must be pretty influential." "It's not easy to transfer to this school." Du-jin mumbled in agreement. "Anjonun prasaon. You seem capable. Your parents must be good people, right?" Du-jin's gaze drifted. "My parents, they were very kind, very gentle people." The image of his benefactor filled his mind, then abruptly shifted to him. "I wish you were dead, Du-jin." He set down the glass. "I should get going. So soon. It'll be rude if you leave too early." An yeonun staptim. "Wait, you don't know what asking someone for ramen means, do you?" He saw the confusion on Du-jin's face. Han Jong-un couldn't help but laugh. "I knew you wouldn't." "Who told you that?" "What?" "It's an invitation to stay over." Du-jin's face flushed crimson. "I don't know who it was, but whoever told you that is really annoying. I'm gonna kill that guy. Stay a little longer." His phone rang. "Sorry, I need to take this." Didn't I tell you I'm at Han Jong-un's place? There was no response. He was about to hang up when he heard Baek Myo scream. Something's wrong. Do-jin excused himself and quickly left. Who could it be? No one should know our identities. He rushed back to the studio to find his partner, only to be met with chaos and destruction. Baek Myo lay in a pool of blood, unconscious. He rushed forward to check on him. Behind him, someone attacked. A baseball bat swung towards his head. Sensing the presence behind him, he raised his arm to block. So is this guy. Who are you? He threw a punch. The attacker was sent flying. Do-jin cautiously approached the man. How'd he find this place? Could it be Chairman Lee? The man in the hat scrambled to his feet. He lunged at Do-jin with a knife. Do-jin stumbled back, narrowly avoiding the blade. But it was a feint. The attacker turned and ran. Do-jin wanted to pursue him, but the thought of his unconscious partner stopped him. Baek Myo stirred. He opened his eyes to find Do-jin sitting beside him. Seeing his partner injured, he tried to sit up, agitated. What happened to your arm? Don't move. You'll rip your stitches. Baek Myo winced. How did you get beat up like this? The last thing I remember is seeing him going through the computer. He was probably after the intel we have. But why didn't he kill me? Do-jin cut him off. Don't think about it right now. Just focus on recovering. We'll regroup later. He tossed the data he'd copied from Han Jong-un's computer to Baek Myo. Oblivious to the near-death experience he'd just had, Baek Myo, ever the gossip, asked, so, how did it go with Han Jong-un? Do-jin punched him hard enough to send him to the afterlife. Why didn't you tell me what ramen actually meant? Stay over after ramen. You were trying to get me killed. Only the intervention of a nurse, changing Baek Myo's bandages, saved him from further injury. Do-jin was kicked out. Still fuming, he went up to the roof for some air. He remembered his benefactor's gentle reassurances. Don't worry so much. There's no need to overthink things. You're doing great. If he were still alive, he would probably say that to him now. The scent of smoke drifted towards him. Someone was already there. The other person noticed him too. He was about to leave when the other person spoke. The man, with dark hair and green eyes, stared at him. Do-jin, he said, his voice guarded. Who are you? Why do you know my name? I heard you knocked out Woo Yuan-jun. Do-jin was about to ask who Woo Yuan-jun was when he heard someone approaching. The man fell silent as the newcomer appeared. It was the same man Do-jin had knocked out earlier. He had beaten the man's lackeys to a pulp, yet the man didn't seem to care. In fact, when one of his remaining goons lunged at Do-jin, the man simply waved him off. The bully, after spouting some empty threats, turned tail and fled. Do-jin understood. So this was Woo Yuan-jun. Why did you stop him? He asked. The man exhaled a plume of smoke. I'm just tired of watching him throw his parents' weight around. And you, don't get cocky just because you can fight. Keep a low profile. I'll let this one slide. Do-jin wasn't intimidated. He snatched the cigarette from the man's hand and tossed it away. Thanks for the advice. He stepped closer. What's your name? The man hesitated for a moment. He seemed completely oblivious to Do-jin taking his cigarette. Do-jin smiled, reading the name on the man's uniform. Lee Jae-hyung. Still a student, huh? Wait till you're older to smoke. As Do-jin walked away, Lee Jae-hyung thought, aren't you want to talk? The way Do-jin had said his name replayed in his mind, and his face flushed crimson. The outwardly cool man was surprisingly easy to fluster. The next day, Do-jin was sleeping soundly when someone started shaking him awake. He looked up, ready to yell, but stopped when he saw it was Han Jong-un. He was beaming. Did you get home safe last night? Do-jin, still half asleep, mumbled, I texted you. Didn't you see it? He reached for his phone to check, but Han Jong-un grabbed his wrist. What are you doing? Let go. Han Jong-un pulled up his sleeve. Seeing Do-jin's injuries, his expression darkened, his voice turning cold. Who did this? Do-jin hesitated, confused by Han Jong-un's anger. His silence only seemed to make Han Jong-un angrier. Who did this? Later, in the nurse's office. So, you're saying you fell on the way here. The girl was sweating nervously. And why is he lecturing me? It's not my fault. Huh, you're really bad at lying. I'm not lying. I'm fine, really. She tried to get up and leave, but he blocked her path. Where are you going? To class. You were sleeping through the last one. What's the point? Do-jin was losing his mind. Did I somehow trigger his paternal instincts? Why is he acting like this? His phone rang. Han Jong-un immediately went to answer it. Do-jin realized it was his phone, but Han Jong-un had already reached it. He saw the caller ID, Jo Tae-hyung. He was about to hand the phone to Do-jin when the girl suddenly lunged for it. Give it to me. She snatched the phone. Why should I? Who's Jo Tae-hyung? Is he the one who hurt your arm? Do-jin was speechless. Why would I be in contact with the person who attacked me? Tell me the truth, and I'll give it back. Be my bodyguard. Happy now. still not telling the truth. Dujin was about to explode. He reached for the phone. What's it to you? Stop messing around and give it back. He pushed a little too hard and knocked Han Jong-un over. To make matters worse, Lee Jae-hyung walked in at that very moment, finding Dujin on top of Han Jong-un. He smirked. Too bad. You could have gone a little further. He had accidentally knocked the guy over, and now someone had seen it. Dujin was so irritated he wanted to curse. But the man looked so pleased with himself. Dujin almost wished he'd pushed him even harder. Han Jong-un hadn't expected the newcomer to know the girl. He greeted her by name. Dujin and Jong-un both felt a flicker of alarm. You two know each other? Dujin asked. We met yesterday, she replied. He was about to ask more when Lee Jae-hyung suddenly spoke up. Don't mind her. I'm not interested in other people's things, Jae-hyung continued, his gaze fixed on Jong-un. But you are quite annoying. I hear you have a complicated history with relationships, and now you're bothering some clueless junior. Jong-un, hearing the gossip about himself, didn't get angry, but actually laughed. Oh, are you jealous? Jae-hyung scoffed. Don't be ridiculous. Say something sensible. Tension crackled between the two men. You don't seem like your usual self, Jong-un observed, a sharp edge to his voice. Hiding daggers in your words. Since when did you care so much about other people's private lives? Let them argue, Dujin thought. He made his escape. Suddenly ravenous, he decided to grab something to eat. Meanwhile, back in the classroom, Hwang Ji-yun, or Pinky, asked one of his classmates to go to the restroom with him. The classmate said he'd go later. He tried inviting others to go shopping, only to be rejected. He tried suggesting they grab lunch after class, but was met with another bizarre excuse. Finally, the truth dawned on him. He was being ostracized. For the first time in his 18 years, Hwang Ji-yun experienced this feeling. Could it be because of what happened in the cafeteria? He'd condescended to be their friend. Shouldn't they be grateful? These level 3s, how dare they treat him this way? Furious, he considered complaining to his father. Then he remembered his family's company wasn't doing well lately. His allowance had even been cut to 300,000 won. Eating alone was too embarrassing. Just then, he spotted Dujin. He knocked out Woo Yuan-jun and was completely fine. That meant he was at least a level 2 or higher. Thinking this, Ji-yun went and sat across from him. What are you doing? Dujin asked. We're all your friends. Ji-yun sniffed. They're not my friends. Probably because of what happened yesterday. He continued, tears welling up. And our family business isn't doing so well. They're all avoiding me. It's all your fault. You have to take responsibility. Dujin was about to refuse when he saw the pathetically crying face. He relented. All right, don't cry. Pinky continued to cry as he ate, managing to insult the friends who had abandoned him between sobs. Dujin watched him, a strange thought crossing his mind. Was he eating lunch or snot? No way, Dujin said, cutting him off. Come hang out with me after school. Ji-yun wailed. I'm a little busy. Are you abandoning me too? He cried. You said you'd take responsibility. Looking at the tear-streaked, snotty face, and hearing the audacity of the demand, Dujin's fists clenched. After school today, Ji-yun insisted, you have to hang out with me. I need to post pictures so they know I'm doing fine without them. Dujin reconsidered. Maybe this was a chance to learn more about the mysterious boy. He agreed. Pinky was ecstatic. We're here. Let's go in. Their first stop was a place completely unlike Dujin. 3 hours later, Dujin was exhausted. Oh my God, you're tired already. You have surprisingly low stamina. Dujin had a bad feeling. What followed was a first for him, wearing high heels and a fitted suit. Pinky squealed with delight, while Dujin wobbled so much he could barely walk. The chaebol heiress he'd imagined turned out to be a total sweetheart, and the aloof, stoic guy wasn't what he seemed either. Before Dujin could protest, Ji-yun declared he was buying the outfit and was already swiping his card. Dujin started to beg him to stop, but it was too late. Don't worry, it's a gift, Ji-yun said. It's not that expensive, but you'll wear it, right? He then announced they were going to dinner. 9 million won wasn't expensive. Did he have a skewed understanding of the word expensive? But the delicious food made Dujin forget everything. This is so good. Ji-yun wasn't eating, though. He was staring intently at Dujin. Why are you looking at me like that? Dujin asked. Just tell me. Ji-yun whispered conspiratorially. You're a level 1, right? No. Dujin sighed. Are you still holding a grudge? Ji-yun asked. I was wrong yesterday. Woo Yuan-jun isn't the type to let things go. How did you manage it? What about Woo Yuan-jun? He's the heir to the Yuan-jun group, Ji-yun explained. The company's only been around for 20 years, but it's been unstoppable lately. It's causing quite a stir in the business world. Dujin thought, well, I can rule out Woo Yuan-jun then. Seeing his silence, Ji-yun started to imagine things. You don't know anything, do you? And I've never seen you before, he continued, his eyes wide. So you must be from a super high-level family. Are you from a company overseas? No, Do-jin said, you're getting the wrong idea. Yesterday, it was that Lee Jae-hyung guy who stopped him. Hearing the name, Ji-yun's reaction was even more dramatic. That Lee Jae-hyung. Nobody knows anything about him, but all the level 1s at school are terrified of him. Oh my God, he helped you. An unidentified level 1. This was definitely someone worth investigating. Do-jin, you're interested in Lee Jae-hyung, aren't you? Ji-yun teased, noticing the gleam in Do-jin's eyes. Do-jin dragged him towards the exit. Stop being crazy. Let's go. Why are you so shy? Ji-yun giggled. You can't fool me. I'll help you two get together. Even as they left, Ji-yun was buzzing with excitement. Don't worry, I'll keep it a secret, he whispered. Do-jin, realizing he was only digging himself deeper, politely declined Ji-yun's offer to walk him home. Ji-yun returned Do-jin's clothes and told him to be careful, offering his phone number in case of emergency. After he left, Do-jin let out a long sigh. Another exhausting day. At least he'd learned something. He could rule out Woo Yuan-jun. And Lee Jae-hyung was an unidentified level 1. That was enough for one night. As if by fate, the very person he'd been thinking about appeared before him. Here, use this, Jae-hyung said, offering him something. He'd taken care of his foot injury. Do-jin hadn't expected someone who looked like him to have such cute tastes. Thanks, Do-jin said, looking up. The man was already gone, but Do-jin jogged after him, grabbing his sleeve. Lee Jae-hyung didn't stop. This investigative opportunity, presented on a silver platter, was too good to pass up. I'll give it back when I'm done. Do-jin hummed, watching him in silence. Jae-hyung turned to leave. It was yours to begin with. No need to return it. Wait, Do-jin caught him again, stammering as he searched for an excuse. How about I buy you coffee, as a thank you for helping me? Do-jin's mind was racing. He was definitely not cut out for this. Han Jong-un only fell for that because of his eccentric personality. A normal person wouldn't. Do-jin had expected rejection, but to his surprise, Lee Jae-hyung agreed. Fine, he looked away, muttering, I also want to confirm a few things. They'd only met twice, yet they'd already made an impression on each other. But not because of romantic interest. It was for revenge. Of course, this was all conjecture. It needed confirmation. So when a man had flirted with her, Do-jin had intercepted, putting on a shy act and offering to treat him. Lee Jae-hyung remained expressionless. Do-jin thought she'd failed, but then he averted his gaze and agreed. Isn't a coffee shop. Follow me. By the time Do-jin processed what was happening, they were already seated, tempting desserts before them. Which madman came up with this waffle? It's infuriatingly delicious. Lee Jae-hyung stared, dumbfounded. Then, remembering his purpose, he asked, do you come here often? Lee Jae-hyung turned his head to the side. He was being ignored. Should I resort to force? The air suddenly thickened. Who sent you? Do-jin was stunned by the question. Jae-hyung continued. The reason you didn't transfer, your unclear identity, suspiciously proficient spy-like martial arts. Don't tell me you think you're well hidden. Tell me before things get out of hand. What was this guy playing at? Do-jin had considered the possibility of being discovered, but not this quickly. How much did he know? No. If he had proof, he wouldn't be so blatantly probing. From what you're saying, but you think I'm some kind of spy. What spy-like martial arts? It's just self-defense techniques my family taught me. And you want to talk about hidden identities. I can prove my identity, though I'd rather not disclose it until I feel safe. I just transferred here, and I don't fully trust this place yet. He went on the offensive, but you've been here for over 2 years. Why are you so insistent on hiding your identity? Do you have some unspeakable secret? Jae-hyung hummed, taking a sip of his coffee. Let's drop this subject. Do-jin wasn't letting him off that easily. Were you investigating me? Is that why you agreed to have coffee? Lee Jae-hyung started ignoring him again. Perhaps this was how strangers should behave. Han Jong-un hadn't been standoffish. He'd been overly friendly. Something was definitely up. Suddenly, Jae-hyung spoke. Aren't you dating Han Jong-un? What the hell are you talking about? It had to be about the infirmary incident. What are you thinking? I told you it was a misunderstanding. If it's nothing, then fine. Let's go. No useful information gleaned, but there would be other opportunities. Do-jin had been so focused on Jae-hyung. He hadn't noticed the uneven ground. He stumbled as he stood, pitching forward. Lee Jae-hyung caught him instantly, seeing Do-jin's embarrassment and remembering his bloodied feet from his worn shoes. Jae-hyung softened. Just hold on to me. They walked down the street, looking like a couple. Do-jin's shoes were becoming increasingly uncomfortable. He was afraid of falling, but didn't want to let go. He was so frustrated, he almost ripped them off. But as he turned, he sensed something amiss. He glanced behind him. Don't you have bodyguards? I don't think it's necessary. Me neither. Just then, a car screeched to a halt. Baekmyo leaned out, sneering. Oh my, on a date are we? Some people have all the luck. One guy's barely escaped death's door, while another's gallivanting around, making his sick friend play chauffeur. Let's go, Dujin. The stoic, aloof man, privately, was a surprisingly innocent romantic. But in public, he traveled with an entourage like a mafia boss. Their probing having yielded nothing, and to prevent Baekmyo from saying anything else untoward, Dujin quickly bid Lee Jae-hyung farewell. Once in the car, Baekmyo started grilling him. What's with the outfit? Come into some money. Watch the road, you punk. Is that Han Jong-un? He's pretty cute. No, that's Lee Jae-hyung. Who's he? Tell me later. Slow down. I think we're being followed. Baekmyo was surprised. Maybe it's his bodyguards. He said he didn't like bodyguards. Lose them then. Lee Jae-hyung remained where they left him. He pulled out a cigarette, placing it between his lips. Someone lit it. The previously empty street was suddenly filled with men in black. Young master, the chairman wants you home immediately. The leader cautiously watched his expression. And about yesterday, I believe I told you to take care of it. The next day, a boy pushed open the classroom door. Woo Yuan-jun, let's talk. It was the school bully Dujin had knocked unconscious. For himself, he kicked downwards with force. Get lost, can't you read the room? The boy pleaded tearfully. So, what did you want to say? That wasn't you, was it? What? Don't you think this is wrong? It's too dangerous. You think I didn't consider that? If you don't want to be involved, stay out of it. The boy still wanted to dissuade him, but the bully shook him off. I told you to stay out of it. He persistently continued to question Woo Yuan-jun. What's gotten into you lately? What if Jae-hyung finds out? The bully grew irritated. Someone's going to get hurt. It was a one-sided beating. No one dared to intervene. Soon, the ground was stained with blood. Another heavy punch landed. The victim was beaten to his knees. Just a warning to the others. Wei Jin Runtai, why do you always cross the line? I'm holding back because of our past. Why are you always courting death? The terrified boy apologized. Get lost if you understand. Yuan-jun, Han Jong-un helped the beaten boy up. Can you stop bullying your classmates? I was only gone for a little while. What are you doing? I thought after that lesson from Dujin, you'd have learned your place. Woo Yuan-jun was fuming. What did you say? Han Jong-un continued to smile. What, you want to hit me too? Damn it, everyone's picking on me today. Fine, I won't do it anymore, okay? Han Jong-un had just left the infirmary when he ran into Lee Jae-hyung. Jae-hyung handed him a paper bag. Give this to Lee Dujin. He took Dujin's uniform. Why do you have this? Lee Jae-hyung didn't respond, leaving him standing there alone. When he found Dujin, he was brimming with jealousy, but he kept a smile on his face. Were you two talking about something interesting? Lee Jae-hyung asked me to give this to you. Dujin had thought his uniform was lost. You saw him yesterday. Last night. Just the two of you. Yeah, but what's it to you? You two met alone last night. Why did Lee Jae-hyung have your clothes? He felt a strong, murderous aura. What's with this guy? A late-night meeting between a man and a woman could easily lead to assumptions, especially when her clothes were with him. Han Jong-un had received Dujin's uniform from Jae-hyung. Though smiling on the surface, he was deeply bothered. Dujin felt a chill down his spine under his intense stare. I don't know what weird things you're thinking, but it's not like that. Look at these two. Pinky cupped her cheeks, her eyes gleaming with gossip. So, after parting with him, Dujin went to see Lee Jae-hyung, and she didn't even tell him. Han Jong-un was angry about that, wasn't he? Was this a love triangle? Exciting. This is so exciting. He didn't care. He was going crazy for this. Suddenly, he felt an intense gaze. Dujin's whole body was sending him an SOS. Help me. It was his time to shine. Wait, Han Jong-un, look at this. Dujin and I went shopping yesterday. We changed clothes together too. Dujin felt emboldened. That's right, punk. I want to see too. Clearly, Han Jong-un's thought process was unusual. I also want to see Dujin wear other clothes. Pinky seized the opportunity. Then come to my house next week. Dujin said she's going to my house too. Okay, immediately. I normally don't let boys into my house, but I'll make a special exception for you. Did you even ask me? Another day of severe mental trauma. Dujin returned to her temporary workspace. It wasn't much, but at least it was close to school. Baekmyo saw her listlessness. Why do you look so half-dead? You try going to school. I'd rather fight 100 people at once. They then brought up Han Jong-un's computer data. Baekmyo complained. Was he a caveman? He doesn't even have any games on his computer. There's only one useful photo. Doesn't this person look a lot like his dad? Doo-jin teased. Come in, get pregnant now. Are you that brain dead from school? Him holding a baby in a hospital room like that, doesn't it look like he just gave birth? Baekmyo ignored her joking. He looks sick. This guy died 18 years ago. Even starting with the most basic information, his last name, we haven't found anything connected to Han Jong-un. I think to investigate Han Jong-un, looking at the people around him is useless. Maybe even the name Han Jong-un is fake. His identity is hidden much deeper than we thought. That Han Jong-un guy is definitely not ordinary. Meanwhile, in the underworld, someone put a hefty bounty on Lee Doo-jin's head. She always finished with one strike. Every move was fatal, absolutely merciless. The bloody waves of her victims were her stage. But one day, something unexpected happened. A comrade called. Boss fell into Chairman Lee's trap. They're almost all wiped out. Doo-jin, get as far away as possible. Don't even think about coming back. Those were the last words she heard. An unanswered call. She couldn't reach anyone. Finally, despair began to set in. She had lost everything again. No, she had simply returned to where she started. She had nothing to begin with. No family, no home. In a daze, she saw someone running towards her, calling his name. It was the boss's figure. He focused to see the figure clearly. Suddenly, it morphed into Baekmyo's large face. He woke up startled, screaming and flinging Baekmyo off the bed. My neck. I think it's broken. Baekmyo whined pathetically. Could you at least pull me out from under here? Once Doo-jin was ready, she began to brief Baekmyo on the past few days' findings. Out of 372 boys in the entire school, investigated based on the hierarchy, Chairman Lee-sun is most likely classified as upper level. If we only investigate the upper levels, that leaves just 4 people. Baekmyo questioned, but what if he's pretending to be lower level? Unlikely. The ranking has clear criteria. Things like exclusive social events they attend and their publicly known social standing. Of course, there are also those who provoke the upper-level students and emerge unscathed, so they're treated as upper-level too. Among those 4, Lee Jae-hyung should be upper-level. While he doesn't have a public profile, there's someone who could vouch for his upper-level status. Isn't that the young master of the Yuan-jun group? He's been all over the media. The internet paints him as this innocent, kind-hearted, rich kid, a real Prince Charming. Him, kind-hearted. Doo-jin was surprised Baekmyo even knew him. She instructed him to investigate any connections between Woo Yuan-jun and the Scene group. The most troublesome one left is Han Jong-un. He looks so familiar. The mere mention of him made Doo-jin exasperated. I've told you about him so many times. This guy is strange from head to toe. He only clings to me. He's been relentlessly pursuing me since the first day he transferred. He makes me feel like I'm his property. His possessiveness is insane. Baekmyo just saw it as bragging about a love interest, wanting to kick away the metaphorical dog food. What if he genuinely likes you? Seriously, no one in the entire school knows anything about him. His background is completely untraceable. Do you think he'd actually like you after just meeting you? You mean he knows my identity and is approaching me on purpose? Impossible. I'm considered dead in this world, and you're practically non-existent. Nobody knows who we are. Doo-jin, however, wasn't so sure. The recent attack had made her suspicious. Meanwhile, Woo Yuan-jun was making contact with the underworld. He put a bounty on Doo-jin's head, seeing she was just a schoolgirl. One individual decided to take the job solo. Woo Yuan-jun pointed at his mouth. She's not just any schoolgirl. I lost a tooth because of her. If she were easy to handle, I wouldn't need you. A nearby bald man suddenly spoke up. Hey, doesn't she look a lot like, that person who used to be with the deceased boss? I happen to have a photo. Woo Yuan-jun stubbed out his cigarette. Let me see. The bald man reluctantly handed over his phone. Woo Yuan-jun's expression shifted strangely. The next moment, he burst into uproarious laughter. Damn it, Lee Doo-jin, you're even more of a headache than I thought. A girls' gathering, and there he was, smack dab in the middle, waking up to someone staring intently at you. What a feeling. Both of them were startled. How can you even change seats during class? This spot is better. Is that even allowed? Didn't anyone say anything? But what about your bag? I don't carry a bag. Here we go again. Lee Doo-jin's in love again. Is it because spring is in the air? Whatever. I'll leave you two to it. I'll create an opportunity for you. Doo-jin was half asleep as she was pushed out of the classroom. Did you two have a good weekend? Dujin replied affirmatively, but inwardly thought, actually, I was investigating you, Han Jong-un. You've been attending classes regularly ever since Dujin arrived. Couldn't really skip anymore, could I? What about before that? I had things to take care of. Dujin's mind was blown once again. Wait, you can do that. Pinky gloated, of course. Chairman Lee is close with our parents. Dujin texted Baekmyo, just in case he decided to show up and cause trouble. Someone suddenly bumped into him. Woo Yuan-jun was chatting with someone else. Isn't she also from the slums? What could she do about it? It's that guy again. Dujin initially didn't want to make a fuss, but then she saw her cracked phone screen. Woo Yuan-jun rubbed his shoulder, muttering, damn, does she have lead in her shoulder or something? The next moment, he was stopped. Hey, my phone screen is cracked. That's what you get for being in the way. What's the big deal? So you bumped into me, and my screen cracked. It's not a big deal. Then pay for the screen. You should be thanking me. I'm not charging you for my diddle work. What about the photo with Huang Jian? How are we going to settle that? Oh, right. You're right. Sorry. How could I forget so quickly? It's just, I can't believe someone like you is even at this school. Your family must be poor, right? Keep the rest for your rent. Not enough. Here's some more. Dujin was at her breaking point. Just kill him. Then she remembered Baekmyo's constant nagging about keeping a low profile at school. After all, everyone here was a rich kid. Causing trouble would be a pain. Fine, just go. Woo Yuan-jun, however, pushed it further. Lee Dujin, you're just like your mother. That comment finally pushed Dujin over the edge. Just then, Han Jong-un appeared. Let's go, Dujin. Huang Jian is waiting for you. Dujin suppressed her murderous rage and left with Han Jong-un. Woo Yuan-jun, that idiot. I should have dislocated his jaw right then and there. He wouldn't be able to talk for the rest of his life. Han Jong-un asked, puzzled, what about that time when Woo Yuan-jun was taken away in an ambulance? I didn't really pay attention to him. Dujin glared at him. You, who never cares about anyone else. Why do you care about him? Baekmyo stopped mid-sentence, his face flushing crimson. Han Jong-un pressed. What happened that time? Dujin jumped in. Woo Yuan-jun got a picture of him practically wetting himself in the cafeteria after I scared him. Baekmyo groaned. It's all your fault, Dujin. You're a level 1, aren't you? No, I'm really not, Dujin insisted. Why do you always think I'm a level 1? Because you provoke Woo Yuan-jun and nothing ever happens to you. Is he really that powerful? Baekmyo asked. It's not about power, Dujin explained. It's that he's vicious. He'll use any dirty trick to harass someone. That's why I want nothing to do with him. Dujin saw an opportunity to probe. Like the seeing group. Baekmyo panicked. Watch your mouth out here. You might not care, but I'm scared. Were they monsters? We can't even talk about them. Dujin noticed Han Jong-un's smile when seeing was mentioned. They soon arrived at Baekmyo's house. He hadn't had friends over in ages and was thrilled. He immediately pulled Dujin towards the menus to order food. Just as they decided, the phone rang. It was Baekmyo's overprotective father checking in. He couldn't let him find out there were boys in the house. He shoved them into the closet. Dad, is something wrong? Baekmyo asked sweetly, why isn't my princess home yet? Are you with your friends? I heard there's a boy there. Dujin and Han Jong-un were crammed together inside. Just as Dujin was about to explode, Han Jong-un, with a smirk, put a finger to his lips, signaling him to be quiet. Dujin kursid Baekmyo internali. You're dead. Being pressed against another guy in a confined space made him want to grab Baekmyo and run. Hey, get away from me. Wait, don't move back. The shelf. A crash echoed. They lost their balance. Han Jong-un instinctively wrapped his arms around Dujin. He tried to pull away, but only ended up closer. Baekmyo's dad yelled from the phone, what was that noise? Probably my delivery arrived, Baekmyo lied. I don't believe you. Let me see the closet. Seriously, Dad. There's nothing here, see? Dujin was getting agitated. I'm not a boy. Why do I have to hide? Then he thought, wait, Baekmyo's dad might be helpful with the investigation. He whispered to Baekmyo that he wanted to come out. Baekmyo's dad heard him again. This time I heard it clearly. Are you in the closet with Woo Yuan-jun? No way. Absolutely not, Woo Yuan-jun. Baekmyo was near tears. What are you talking about? What's in the closet? Suddenly, the door opened. Baekmyo pointed the phone at the closet. Dad, stop it. See, nothing's here. Dujin was trapped, held tightly in Han Jong-un's embrace, his mouth covered. Are you satisfied now? I need to use the bathroom. Baekmyo exclaimed. They hung up. All three were exhausted from the ordeal. Sorry, my dad's a bit overprotective, Baekmyo apologized. Dujin got up to leave. Baekmyo, his face flushed, tried to stop him. Wait, at least eat before you go. This tactic always worked on the glutton. He's so easy in some ways. Right, Dujin. What time are you going home? I'm leaving right after I eat. What's it to you? Let's go together. I'll walk you home. No, why not? I just don't want to go with you. Something always happens. You're kind of annoying. He actually got rejected. He stared in disbelief. This was the most exciting and fun day he'd had at school. Suddenly, his expression shifted. I understand, but we have to walk together today. Why? Are you worried about me? What if Wu Yuanjun shows up? Even if 100 of him showed up, I wouldn't even flinch. Baekmyo giggled. Dujin, you sound so serious when you say things like that. Like a gangster in a movie. Are you hot? You're sweating a lot. Why do they always wrap bandages around the handles of knives? Dujin asked abruptly. Because an unprotected knife might cut your hand. What about the blade? To avoid leaving fingerprints. And if it's wrapped around the blade itself, to prevent a fatal wound. How do you both know this stuff? Baekmyo asked, incredulous. Just use your brain, Dujin retorted. Are you saying I'm stupid? I didn't say that. Watching them bicker, Dujin genuinely smiled. Angyeonun froze. It's the first time I've seen you smile. Baekmyo added, though your sense of humor is a little irritating. What are you talking about? I smile all the time. Both of them thought about his usual smiles. Those are more like smirks. Lee Dujin, you're so popular. You must be happy, huh? Am I popular? Don't pretend. You're even dating Lee Jae-hyung. Before he could finish, Dujin tackled him. Help, I'm going to puke. Han Jong-un started clearing the table. Baekmyo seized the opportunity to play matchmaker. Han Jong-un is such a homebody and so diligent. Don't you like that? Go date him yourself then. What? He'd kill me if he heard you say that. Besides, he's not my type. My ideal is someone pretty and gentle. Dujin raised an eyebrow. Isn't he pretty enough? Baekmyo did. Angyeonun. Dujin says you're good looking. Dujin snapped. What? I wasn't lying. He turned back to Baekmyo. So, how many people have you dated? None. Baekmyo's jaw dropped. He turned to Han Jong-un. Lee Dujin says he's never dated anyone. Did you know that? Actually, I kind of suspected it, Han Jong-un admitted. Baekmyo poked Dujin's cheek. Is there something wrong with you? You seem normal enough. A group of people ganged up on a girl, only to be beaten to a pulp. A few minutes earlier, Dujin waited until Han Jong-un stepped away to answer a phone call. The streets were deserted. Dujin thought about Han Jong-un's words. What was there to be worried about? Being with them brought a flicker of joy, yet it also unsettled Dujin. She worried about being swayed by such ordinary feelings. This can't go on, she thought. Suddenly, she realized someone ahead was watching her. Dujin stopped, taking a step back. In the next instant, someone attacked her from behind. Your instincts are pretty sharp. How did you know there was danger? Listen up, from now on, be quiet. If you make a sound, or even so much as a rustle, I'll make my move immediately. Come quietly. That Han Jong-un and his crow's mouth. That he really is annoying. Dujin was dragged into a narrow alley. They hadn't attacked immediately, suggesting they weren't intending to kill her. Is this Wu Yuanjun's doing? Silence. She stepped closer. Did Wu Yuanjun send you? Just say what you want. Don't waste my time. In a flash, the man was pinned beneath her. A second attacker lunged, but Dujin easily neutralized him. She dodged a blow, then kicked upwards, connecting with the attacker's jaw. Another sweep of her leg, and another one down. Someone charged at her from behind, knife glinting. Dujin sidestepped, slamming her fist into the attacker's face. The impact sent him crashing into the wall. In less than 5 seconds, she'd taken down 3. A heavy-set man panicked. Boss, what is she? This isn't what we were told. A man with a shaved head shoved him aside. Looks like you really know how to fight. But so what? This isn't some tournament. He didn't finish his sentence. Dujin attacked. They grappled. You little punk. Quite a temper. Today's your last day. But Dujin swiftly tripped him, pinning him to the ground. She felt someone behind her go, flying from a kick. The shaved-headed man finally panicked, yelling wait. Dujin's knife plunged downwards. At the last moment, she remembered Baekmyo's words, don't involve bystanders. She hesitated for a split second, and the shaved-headed man's counterattack slammed into her face. He mistook her hesitation for fear, taunting her. Kids are just kids, good at hitting, scared of killing. We aren't afraid to stab you. A few dozen times, even. As it turned out, villains always died talking. Dujin glanced back. It was the first guy she knocked out. He'd woken up and run. She ignored him, searching the shaved-headed man. A fake ID and a burner phone. Just a common thug. Probably not Chairman Lee's man. That Wu Yuanjun really is a lunatic. Suddenly, someone attacked her from behind. She let her guard down. Another blow followed. Meanwhile, back at the small pink house, Han Jong-un had just finished a phone call. Only minutes had passed since Dujin left. He grabbed his jacket, about to run after her. A girl was jolted awake by a splash of water. The man looming over her, face contorted in a sneer, was the school bully she'd put in the hospital. But this time, the tables were turned. Dujin was tied up in an abandoned warehouse. Useless. Tied up tight. Heard you just finished a fight. Pretty impressive. Dujin ignored him, mentally counting. How many were here? 5. She wasn't sure about outside. This irritated Wu Yuanjun. He kicked her shoulder. Hey, I'm talking to you. You haven't grasped your situation yet. Kidnapped and still acting tough. There's a limit to how much you can show off. Dujin finally looked at him. What do you want? Nothing really. Just having some fun. Wu Yuanjun faltered. What did you say? Do you need another beating to sober up? Huh? What are you laughing at? You don't have the guts to do it yourself anyway. Do I need to? As long as I have money, I can have people do things for me. These days, who fights with their fists? Someone like you belongs beneath my feet. No, you're the idiot. Aren't you still at your big brother's beck and call? Shut up. What big brother? Aren't you Lee Jae-hyung's lackey? It's pretty funny, though. Lee Jae-hyung seems to really hate people like you. Wu Yuanjun flinched. He'd hit a nerve. Jae-hyung just helped you once, and you think he favors you. Sorry, but he can't do without me. You wouldn't understand. I'd say you're just like your mother. Aren't you curious how I know? Dujin assumed he was bluffing. There wasn't supposed to be any information about her mother in the world. But then, Wu Yuanjun pulled out a photograph. At first, I only saw the woman in the front. I wasn't sure, but then I looked closer. Trash like you. How did you even get into this school? With your body. Like mother, like daughter. Is that how you seduced Han Jong-un? If this gets out, you're finished. So, you kidnapped me just to show me this. You still don't understand the gravity of this situation. If this gets out, go ahead, spread it. Try and see if you can. You think I can't? You can't, because you're going to die by my hand today. Wu Yuanjun exploded in rage. He grabbed Dujin's hair, ready to strike, but was sent flying with a swift kick. Didn't you hear those guys I half-killed say anything? My legs are pretty strong. Idiot, if you're going to kidnap someone, tie them up properly. Wu Yuanjun was furious. He spun around, picking up a baseball bat. I'm going to make sure you can't use those legs ever again. They were already useless. Meanwhile, Baekmyo was still waiting for Dujin to come home. It was past midnight, but Dujin hadn't contacted him at all. The tracker showed she hadn't moved in a long time. Should he call and ask? He hesitated. Suddenly, the signal cut off. On the other side, one of the thugs had dealt with Dujin's phone. The beating continued. The baseball bat was covered in blood. He poked the girl with the bat. She didn't move. Damn, she's not dead, is she? The thought terrified him. Damn it, who told you to provoke me? One of the thugs went to check on her. Suddenly, everything changed. The girl had broken free. He grabbed her tightly. Another thug, seeing them motionless, approached to urge them on. He was sent flying by the man Dujin threw. Wu Yuanjun was dumbfounded. What's going on? She wasn't supposed to be able to get free. Dujin brushed the hair from her forehead. Just you wait, Wu Yuanjun. You're the last one. The unarmed girl, covered in blood, terrified the man. She looked like a demon. The ropes binding her had been frayed against the bricks. Wu Yuanjun yelled, "What are you doing? Grab her. Get rid of her." Dujin picked up a metal pipe. She faced her next opponent, bashing his head in a single, swift move. Wu Yuanjun was nearly wetting himself. He pulled the knife from the dead man's head. 2 men surrounded Dujin. One grabbed her, while the other lunged with a knife. Dujin flipped the man holding her over her shoulder, sending him crashing into the one with the knife. He looked up just as Dujin brought the sharp knife down. The screams and the sickening crunch of bone terrified Wu Yuanjun. He'd never seen anything so horrifying. He grabbed his phone to make a call. Are you calling the police? Are you going to tell them you kidnapped someone? I can make this go away. Do you think that bloodthirsty person is going to wait for the police to arrive? Damn it, what do I do now? Get rid of her, of course. I've lost so many men. Do you have the money to deal with the bodies? Wu Yuanjun hesitated. Get rid of her. I didn't really want to. But as he watched Dujin take down another man, staring at him like a death god, he panicked. Kill her. Money's no object. Just do it. Dujin counted the bodies. 1, 2, 3, 4. Her eyes flicked towards Wu Yuanjun, his shoulders dragging on the ground. Wu Yuanjun trembled, utterly terrified. The girl walked towards him, raising the knife high above her head. Suddenly, she was attacked from behind. She spun around furiously. You miscalculated. It wasn't 5. It was 6. Wu Yuanjun cowered in the corner, listening to the sounds of struggle. Dujin blocked the man's attacks, searching for an opening. She landed a powerful punch. Do you want to be beaten to death? But the next moment, he had her wrapped in chains. He reached for her eyes, but it was too late. He was strangled on the spot. Dujin crawled out from under the body. She ripped off her shirt, pressing it hard against a wound on her stomach, using it as a makeshift bandage. Her eyes locked onto Wu Yuanjun. The man completely broke down, screaming in terror. Are you even human? What are you? Let's talk this out. 1 billion. I'll give you 1 billion right now. Dujin didn't stop. 5 billion. No, 20, 50, 500. I'll give you anything. My properties, my shares, everything. Just spare me. Please. You want to live? Then answer my question. Okay, I'll tell you everything. Who is the Seeing Group heir? Chairman Li's son. Despite having orchestrated the kidnapping, Wu Yuanjuan's life was ironically saved by the arrival of SWAT. Dujin never got the answer she sought. Instead, she was met with a sea of black gun barrels pointed at her, ordering her to drop her weapon. Massive blood loss caused Dujin's consciousness to blur. Why am I here? Unable to hold on any longer, she collapsed. Paramedics rushed forward to staunch the bleeding. Han Jong-un stared blankly at the carnage. He hadn't expected things to turn so brutal. Suddenly, Baekmyo rushed out and scooped Dujin into his arms. He cried out, his voice trembling, Dujin, Dujin, are you dead? Please let her go. If you keep this up, she really will die. Just as he was about to be pulled away, Han Jong-un stopped the police. Are you Dujin's family? Baekmyo recognized him. He nodded gratefully, accepting the offered hat and putting it on. Why are you only arresting me? Dujin's the murderer. She's the one who killed them. Wu Yuanjun was handcuffed. Do you know who I am? Save it. We have a warrant for your arrest. He turned to look at Han Jong-un. In an instant, he understood. It was him. A short while earlier, Han Jong-un had arrived at the site where Dujin had been taken. He'd snatched the phone from one of the thugs, threatening him until he revealed the location. Before Baekmyo got into the car, Han Jong-un called out to him. This looks like Dujin's phone. But Dujin's phone had already been destroyed. Could it be Wu Yuanjuan's? Han Jong-un didn't seem to know. Unable to wait any longer, Baekmyo took the phone with a quick thanks and climbed into the car. His enemy is right in front of me. He lunged, using all his strength to try and strangle Wu Yuanjun, but was met with cruel laughter. How foolish. You think just because I'm dead, your nightmare is over. Dujin jolte davak. Baekmyo and Little Pink were watching over her. Little Pink, tears streaming down her face, threw herself at Dujin. I just woke up and I feel like I'm dying again. I thought you weren't going to wake up. What happened? A quel accident? Baekmyo made a shushing gesture. Looks like he made up an excuse. During the 2 days Dujin was unconscious, Little Pink and Baekmyo had become quite friendly. Your brother is so nice. He lives such a privileged life, but he's still so caring towards you. Why didn't you introduce him to me sooner? These two. I should probably ask about something else. What is Fanjung? Oh, asking for your boyfriend as soon as you wake up. Thanks to him, you're alive. The doctor said if it had been any later, you would have been in serious danger. Baekmyo suddenly made an excuse to get Little Pink out of the room. He handed Dujin the phone he'd gotten from Han Jong-un, Wu Yuanjuan's phone. Look at the first contact. It's Lee Jae-ho. Does he have something to do with this? Dujin turned her head. I'll look into it. You should go now. Baekmyo saw her despondency. He suddenly lifted his shirt. Don't laugh. This isn't like you. We're the invincible stab wound duo now. Now get out of here. Meanwhile, Lee Jae-hyung sat alone on a bench. An suddenly appeared, waiting for news from Wu Yuanjun. Lee Jae-hyung was surprised. Do you know something? Han Jong-un smiled, but his eyes had changed completely. You're still pretending, aren't you? Do you really not know that Wu Yuanjun was investigating Dujin behind your back? Lee Jae-hyung fell silent. Han Jong-un's voice became urgent. Lee Jae-hyung, I don't care what you're thinking or what you've done, but don't mess with me again. This is your warning. The young master brought a girl home for the first time. The housekeeper was already thinking of names for their children. Dujin was just trying to avoid a doctor. She ended up at Lee Jae-hyung's house and got stabbed in the stomach. He needs to rest. The nurses can't control him. The doctors can't subdue him. They resorted to threats. If you do that again, we won't give you anesthesia for your next surgery. Terrified, the girl escaped in the night. She was then harassed by someone Wu Yuanjun had wronged, claiming she was his savior for helping him bring Wu Yuanjun down. Dujin looked disgusted. He started it. I didn't help you. Turns out the guy's a TikToker, so you had to take him down. That deadpan stare and annoyed tone. You're the best. Please accept me as your slave. Buying snacks, getting meals, carrying your bag. Please let me do it. Why am I always surrounded by crazy people? I think my wound just reopened. Come to think of it, Han Jong-un is the same. Doi attract weirdos. Remembering how he saw everything last time and how I still have to explain it gives me a headache. Lost in thought and feeling unwell, Dujin didn't notice. Lee Jae-hyung approached. Whatever. I wanted to ask you something anyway. Lee Jae-hyung looked surprised. I heard you weren't being discharged for a few more days. How did you know? 안예원은 told me. How did he know? How are you feeling? I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Lee Jae-hyung suddenly sighed, his face a mask of conflict. Finally, he said, I'm sorry. Why are you apologizing? It wasn't you. Unless you did order it. No, I didn't, but I should have kept my people in check. I'm sorry. Just words. What do you want? Isn't this a perfect opportunity to investigate him? I'll come over to your place today. Lee Jae-hyung was taken aback. Still, he brought the girl home. Like Little Pink, he lived alone, cared for by a housekeeper. The young master, who supposedly never even brought friends home, had brought a girl back. It was a sight as rare as a blooming iron tree. Lee Jae-hyung cut her off before she could say anything more. He told the housekeeper to quickly prepare dinner. Do-jin, after being ushered to the guest room to lie down, realized she was filled with regret for not listening to the doctor. But this was a prime opportunity to investigate. She couldn't miss it. What she didn't expect was to stumble upon Lee Jae-hyung changing his clothes while searching for clues. She lost her balance again, falling forward. A familiar scene. Lee Jae-hyung caught her once more. Why are you always falling? Is something wrong with your ankle? Do-jin was speechless. She had just felt a little dizzy. Suddenly, Lee Jae-hyung pulled her down to sit. His large hand touched her forehead. Why are you so warm? I'll get you some medicine. Take it first before we eat. Lee Jae-hyung sighed. Why are you so stubborn? Do-jin abruptly grabbed his arm. Her eyes fell upon the dense cluster of needle marks. He'd been careless. The next thing he heard was the girl asking, what are these needle marks? A man's arm covered in needle marks, discovered by the girl he liked. But instead of explaining, he pushed her out of the room. I need a change. Why such a strong reaction? Could it be illicit drugs? The seeing group had a significant presence in the illicit drug market. All the questions seemed to point to him. Should she just interrogate him directly? No, she didn't have concrete evidence yet. Dinner's ready. You too. Ever the food enthusiast, Do-jin immediately rushed to the dining table. I hope it's to your liking. The young master rarely eats at home. What is this insanely delicious flavor? This is amazing. The housekeeper took the opportunity to gossip. How did you two get so close? The young master prefers quiet. It must be hard to become friends with him. We're not close. Do-jin replied matter-of-factly. Oh, you're such a kidder. Don't say that. You two look so good together. Why not give dating a try? You might even get married. Lee Jae-hyung couldn't take it anymore. Stop with the nonsense. Thinking about it, Do-jin joked, would getting married mean I could eat like this every day? Lee Jae-hyung's face instantly flushed crimson. The housekeeper was ecstatic. That would be wonderful. Lee Jae-hyung was exasperated. Both of you stop it. He quickly changed the subject. Did you know there's a sports meet next week? Seeing Do-jin's confused expression, the housekeeper jumped in. Everyone has to sign up for an event. Our young master signed up for the shooting competition. Shooting competition with real guns. Are you crazy? This is a school. With that, Lee Jae-hyung went to retrieve something. Do-jin watched Lee Jae-hyung's retreating figure. He returned with a gun. He casually chambered around, walking towards her with an air of intimidation. It reminded Do-jin of the dream. The moment he got close, she snatched the gun away. A toy gun. Lee Jae-hyung was stunned. It has pellets. Try it. As soon as he finished speaking, he was shot. Hey, this is pretty fun. Is the supplier for this gun Myung-jae's family? His family really likes making strange things. Do-jin was surprised. Kim Myung-jae from class 3 to 2. Yeah, his family is in the weapons business overseas. That kid is really smart, especially good at drawing designs. As they chatted, the housekeeper excused herself. Are you really not going to tell me about your arm? Seeing Lee Jae-hyung's silence, she offered, how about we exchange secrets? The man perked up. What kind? If I press here hard, this moves? Lee Jae-hyung burst out laughing. What kind of secret is that? Knowing she was being playful, he finally answered, it's because I'm sick. Do-jin was skeptical. He seemed so healthy. Should I hack into his medical records? Suddenly, she noticed Lee Jae-hyung staring at her. Why are you looking at me like that? You look unwell. Just tired, that's all. And whose fault is that? I got beaten up because of you. Lee Jae-hyung was left speechless. The housekeeper returned with fruit, saving the situation. He quickly began peeling an apple, but it only made Do-jin's headache worse. She remembered the stabbing. She felt nauseous, a wave of dizziness washing over her as she fell backward. When she woke up again, she was lying in Lee Jae-hyung's bedroom, in front of the girl he liked. He was a fool. He hadn't moved his hand, even though it was numb and bruised from being trapped beneath her. When the girl woke up, she grabbed his throat and pinned him to the bed. "What did you do to me?" "Were my clothes and phone." It was the first time he'd seen her lose her composure. Lee Jae-hyung, though tempted to enjoy the view a little longer, knew if he didn't explain, she might actually kill him. "I had someone give you a shot. This is my private ward. Your things are over there. I know you must be scared, but I really didn't do anything. Just trust me." Do-jin was surprised. "You really are sick, so you didn't believe me at all." "I'm sorry. What illness do you have?" "I can't tell you." "Do your other classmates know you're sick?" Woo Yuanju knows. "Why does he know?" "We've known each other since we were kids. We used to fight a lot. Something happened once because of my illness. But are you feeling better now?" Do-jin indicated she was fine. Lee Jae-hyung still seemed worried. "I heard your stab wound was serious. Was that what Yuanju's doing too?" "It really wasn't you behind it all. You really didn't believe me this whole time." Lee Jae-hyung covered his face in exasperation. "I never lie. I know you don't trust me, but what do you take me for?" Do-jin looked away. "After all, you investigated me before. You haven't answered me yet. Why did you investigate me?" Lee Jae-hyung didn't deny it. "I'm sorry, I did investigate you, and I can't promise I won't continue to. But ever since you transferred, things have become strange. I can't tell you anything more." Do-jin was completely lost, but it was clear he wouldn't say anything more. "Might as well take advantage of you. Want team up? I need information on Han Jong-un too." Lee Jae-hyung was curious. "Why are you investigating him?" Do-jin countered, "What about you? Don't ask me back. I wasn't planning on inheriting the company, but now I really need that position, so I have to prove myself. The key might be Han Jong-un. The more I listen, the less I understand. Explain it properly. You sure will know a lot. This is the first time I've told anyone this much about myself. Don't just question me. Tell me yours. Why do you need information on Han Jong-un?" Seeing Do-jin hesitate, Lee Jae-hyung scoffed. "And you think you can get information out of me with that? I'm not that easy to fool." Do-jin mumbled, looking down, practically steaming from her head. After a long pause, she blurted out, "Because I like him." Lee Jae-hyung suddenly fell silent. Do-jin was nervous. "Say something." The man's face turned cold. "If that's your reason, I don't think I have any information that can help you. And if you really like him, you shouldn't stay here. You should leave." Do-jin hadn't slept a wink all night. Had he said something wrong? Lee Jae-hyung's attitude had become strangely distant. "Can I stay a little longer? It's close to school, and it's almost time for class." He turned his back to her. "Then stay, but only in my room. Wake me at 7, and don't wander around. There are cameras in the house." Such a meticulous guy. I can't even investigate him secretly now. He hadn't expected that. While returning to school with Lee Jae-hyung, they would run into Han Jong-un and Little Pink. Little Pink looked bewildered. "What did you two get so close?" "No, wait, you just met up along the way, right?" Lee Jae-hyung, uncharacteristically, acted as if provoking Han Jong-un. "We've been together since yesterday." "Is that so?" Han Jong-un's smile vanished, replaced by a cold expression. Do-jin had unexpectedly spent the night at Lee Jae-hyung's house. She thought he would help cover for her, but, seemingly out of jealousy, he'd revealed it. "We've been together since yesterday." Han Jong-un's face darkened. Little Pink rushed to smooth things over. "Guys, we don't have time for this. First period's almost over." Do-jin's phone kept ringing, but she ignored it completely, until Little Pink threatened her fiercely. "Show me your phone." "But why do you want to know all this?" At the same time, Lee Jae-hyung asked Han Jong-un the same question. Han Jong-un thought for a moment, but didn't answer. Lee Jae-hyung pressed further. "Why do you only bother Lee Do-jin?" "No reason. I just like her." "Don't you have another motive?" "What do you mean? That's not like you." Han Jong-un's expression changed. "So annoying. Annoying already. Isn't that a bit much? You asked what Do-jin and I did. We exchanged a few secrets." "What secrets?" "He did it on purpose. The first secret was about his body. The second was that he has someone he likes." "Who does Do-jin like?" "Ask for yourself." After Lee Jae-hyung left, Han Jong-un smiled, but it wasn't a pleasant smile. Meanwhile, the girls were practically at each other's throats. "Are you really not going to tell me?" "I told you it's nothing. We just talked and had dinner." Little Pink didn't believe her. "No way." The bespectacled Min Hyuk ran towards Do-jin, holding a box. It was the one who wanted to be her slave before. "Min Hyuk, you know each other." Do-jin denied it. Then someone else called her name. Han Jong-un approached from the other side. "Can we talk?" All her escape routes were blocked. Do-jin. The sound of shattering glass accompanied the breaking of Do-jin's decibel magic jar. She crashed through the window and jumped. Covered in shards of glass, she ran away. The three of them stared after her, dumbfounded. "Is he crazy?" Inside the nurse's office, Do-jin pleaded, "Can I get some painkillers?" The nurse sighed. "You've been here quite often lately. Taking so much medication isn't good for you." Jean barged in. Please give me a Band-Aid. How did you get yourself into this state? The nurse exclaimed. I fell, Jean mumbled. But what about the glass? The nurse was concerned. No, you really should go to the hospital. Jean protested loudly. Absolutely not. Lee Jae-hyung stared at her with a deadpan expression. The next moment, he walked over and took off her shoe. As expected, her ankle was swollen too. The school nurse moved to treat it, but Lee Jae-hyung interjected. It's all right. We're friends. Then please take care of her for a bit, the nurse said. We're running low on antiseptic. I'll go get some more. Jean felt a little dazed. I always seem to run into you here. There's a reason for that, Lee Jae-hyung replied. But why do you always get yourself hurt? He teased. Maybe it's fate. It's for the sports day event, Jean explained. I'm in a gunfight too. Seems like your luck isn't very good, Lee Jae-hyung observed. It can't be helped. Hwang Ji-yoon drew for me. I'll have to teach him a lesson. Lee Jae-hyung chuckled, not asking any further questions. He's so quiet. Jean thought. He doesn't ask so many questions, and he doesn't worry excessively. She mumbled. It feels like I'm most at ease when I'm with you. Lee Jae-hyung wasn't prepared for such a statement. His handsome face flushed crimson. The girl felt a sudden urge to tease him. It only seemed to encourage her further. Her eyes sparkled with uncontainable amusement. Jean arrived at Han Jong-un's house at his invitation. You wanted to see me? She asked. He paused, momentarily taken aback. I've never seen you dressed like that before. Come in first, he said, producing a box. Jean took it. What's this? Myung-jae asked me to give it to you, Han Jong-un explained. I think he was trying to give you something last time. Opening it, she found a gun. I heard you're participating in the sports day gunfight tomorrow, he said. He prepared this especially for you. But I'm a little hurt, he continued. I thought we were already close. But why did you only tell Lee Jae-hyung your secret? He asked. Does he know? Does he know I lied about liking him? Just as she was about to explain, he continued, but it's okay to a certain extent, because I know your real secret. What? He produced a photograph. It was the same one Woo Yuan-jun had used to threaten her. Where did you get this? I found it, he replied, along with Woo Yuan-jun's phone. So, are you interested in me now? Are you threatening me? Jean asked. Han Jong-un reached out and stroked her face. How could I? I like you so much. How could I threaten you? Jean slapped his hand away. I saw you hadn't stopped, so I didn't say anything. You saw everything that day, didn't you? I did those things, and you still say you like me. Are you insane? They deserved it, he said coldly. Because they've always. Jean angrily interrupted. Yes, they're scum. But what about what Woo Yuan-jun did to me? How did you know I was there? You always seem to know everything. Han Jong-un, who are you really? I'm quite clever, he replied, and my intuition is very accurate. For example, right now, you're debating whether or not to get rid of me. You've never loved anyone. Saying you like someone was a lie too. But I'm still curious. Was the person you said you liked me? Jean calmed herself. She couldn't be manipulated like this. Forget it. So now you know my secrets. To be fair, you have to exchange one. Han Jong-un lifted his leg, revealing a scar on his inner thigh. Isn't that a gunshot wound? Jean asked. That's right. I also have someone I hate enough to want to get rid of. Who is it? My father. Because Jean had investigated him. She blurted out without thinking. Didn't he die 18 years ago? So you knew my father passed away, he said. He's crazy. How could I make such a stupid mistake? Jean thought frantically. It's all right. The fact that you're interested enough in me to secretly investigate me makes me happy. What's wrong with saying I want to get rid of my father? Han Jong-un's next words hit Jean like a bomb. The person who took everything from me is Chairman Lee of Civic Group. I want to eliminate him. Meanwhile, Woo Yuan-jun, who had been missing for a while, was hiding at home. The previous night, he had been suddenly attacked. He pleaded desperately, his face filled with terror. I didn't say anything. The attacker pulled out a chair and sat down. Of course you didn't, the attacker said calmly. I'm not asking what you said. I'm asking what Lee Jean asked you. A seasoned office worker and a pure schoolgirl. In reality, a special agent and a mafia boss. Now, both disguised and met by chance on campus. Files scattered everywhere as they collided. The office worker apologized profusely. Oh, I'm so sorry. Don't worry about me. Just go ahead. The girl was about to leave, but noticed a business card on the ground. Scene construction, Chairman Lee. A clue delivered right to her doorstep. She stopped. Excuse me, are you a student? I wanted to ask, how do I get a class 2-2? He picked up the business card and handed it to her. I'll take you there. Through small talk, she learned he was a high-ranking executive at Scene Construction. At least, on the surface, he was there to see his younger sibling. You're quite curious, aren't you? He knew he couldn't ask any more questions. Watching him walk into the classroom, an executive-level official at the school sports day, cheering for Bay. How ridiculous. What's going on here? He was just about to squeeze in to see who he was looking for, when Little Pink called out to him. He quickly came over to me. Before he could recover, he was put into a mascot costume. Both of them exclaimed at the same time, "So cute." It was the class uniform for the sports day. Dujin grumbled, "Why am I a penguin? You were in the hospital." This was the only one left. Dujin pointed at Han Jong-un. "It's childish to complain. I want a cool one too." Little Pink held him still. "Hey, don't move. I'll draw you some tiger whiskers." The first stroke was a disaster. A sense of foreboding washed over him. When Dujin looked up again, they both burst out laughing. Little Pink was tackled by Dujin and given a good thrashing. His face was a mess after the scolding. Dujin glared at Han Jong-un. "You were laughing too just now." At that moment, a classmate came to call them. The sports day was about to begin. As soon as he arrived at the field, Dujin saw a familiar figure in the distance. He asked Wu Yuanjun, "What are you doing here?" "Money talks, huh?" "After doing that, you can still swagger around and come to school." Wu Yuanjun was scared witless. He screamed for help and ran. "I can't let him wander around school. If he tells anyone, he's looking for Chairman Li's son." Little Pink caught up. "Wu Yuanjun, what's wrong with him?" "Wait, did he just wet himself? That's awesome." It was only then that Dujin remembered. He killed so many people, but no police came to investigate him. Little Pink wiped away tears of laughter. "Didn't any of your relatives come? Like a cousin or something?" "Joe Teo. Why would he come?" As soon as the words left his mouth, he heard someone call his name. "Finally found you. Li Dujin. Is he crazy? What the hell are you wearing? What's with this getup? I'm here to cheer you on. Are you insane? I told you to stay away as much as possible. How did you know about the sports day today?" "That friend, Jae Hyung, brought me." The man suddenly leaned closer. "Calm down. I'm here to check the school's equipment room. See if I can steal the data." He then continued to act crazy. "It's nice to be out in the sun for a change." Little Pink stared blankly at Joe Teo. "I think he's in love." Han Jong-un appeared with a camera. "Dujin, want to take a picture together?" When he saw Lee Jae-hyung, his expression instantly changed. Joe Teo leaned in again for the photo. "Fun for everyone. An yeonun pretesti di satisfait. But I only want to take a picture with Dujin." Even Little Pink joined in. In the end, they took the picture. "This might sound cheesy, but I'm really happy to be friends with you. So don't ditch me after graduation." Dujin joked, "Of course I'm going to ditch you." As they were laughing, the announcement for the tug-of-war started. "Dujin, come on. The game's starting." For the first time, he regretted provoking Lee Jae-hyung. In the tug-of-war, Dujin easily won. In the finals, he faced Han Jong-un. The love-struck man deliberately let him win. Class 3-1 won the championship. The whole class rushed towards him to celebrate. "You're so amazing." Little Pink was even happier than if he had been praised himself. "Hey, you guys below level 3, don't talk to me." Little Pink clutched his head. "Why did you hit me? They're being disrespectful. Don't worry about levels of time like this." What's next? On the soccer field, the final match was underway. Lee Jae-hyung had just passed the ball when someone intercepted it. It was Han Jong-lin. They both looked like they were having fun. How did those two make it to the finals? Little Pink grinned. It's been like this since they started school. How else would they be so popular? Lee Jae-hyung wiped his sweat with his shirt, revealing his 8-pack abs, making the girls scream. "Now do you understand why I was so surprised? You're hanging out with them, aren't you?" As the clock ticked down, Lee Jae-hyung seized the last opportunity. He kicked the ball into the goal. Class 2 won the final. "Dujin," he said, "it's moments like these when they just seem like normal students." Little Pink stretched. "It's finally over." That was intense. Someone offered Han Jong-un some water, but he ignored it. He insisted on taking Dujin's water instead. "Why are you taking mine? Don't you have plenty of people offering you water?" He squeezed between the two of them. "This one tastes better." "I'm so mad. I won last year. 2:1, huh? You better step up your game." "Dujin, you're so mean." Little Pink was sweltering in the mascot costume. He suggested they go get some ice cream. Han Jong-un pressed the water bottle against his face to cool down. "I heard they're giving out ice cream over by the freshmen. Want to check it out?" Apparently, the person who set the fastest record in a cookie game got free ice cream for life. And it was a premium brand, too. Thinking of this, Dujin grabbed Little Pink. "Come with me." Little Pink's whole body resisted. "No way. You and Jong-un go have fun." Dujin didn't want to go with Han Jong-un at all. Little Pink looked thrilled, practically wagging his tail. "Play with me." "Dujin, I'll help you break the record." See. Little Pink smirked, knowingly. It knew all along. It had to create an opportunity for the two of them. By the time Dujin came looking for Little Pink again, they had vanished. Only Han Jong-un was left, looking at it with a cheerful expression. Just play with me, Dujin. No way it thought. It didn't want to play this game with someone shrouded in mystery. The little dog wore a wounded expression. If you won't play with me, who will you play with? Oh, Dujin. Dujin, seeking an escape, approached Lee Jae-hyung, who was lounging nearby. Do you want to go get ice cream with me? The announcer called out. If your lips touch, you're out. If the cookie breaks, you're out. An yeonun skolith. Lee Jae-hyung glanced at him, then turned back to Dujin. Are you aiming to break the record? Of course, if I can, Dujin replied. She would soon regret those words. Just 30 seconds later, she deeply regretted her confident statement. As the timer started, Lee Jae-hyung leaned closer, cookie in mouth. Elsewhere, a man was being frisked by a girl. Not only did he not resist, he excitedly pulled the girl's hand back on himself, urging her to continue. This scene was witnessed by his rival. Bad timing, Han Jong-un thought ruefully. Isn't it more like you two are always doing strange things? Dujin quickly interjected. It's all a misunderstanding. Lee Jae-hyung didn't pry. He simply smiled and invited her. Let's get ready for the gun game tournament. As she started to leave, the little dog tugged at her. Stay a little longer. Dujin sighed. What am I even doing here? She muttered. Han Jong-un watched them go. His expression turned somber again. The atmosphere between them had caught Lee Jae-hyung's attention. It seems like Han Jong-un likes you too. Why aren't you together? He regretted confessing his feelings for Han Jong-un. Now he needed another excuse. I'm pretty cautious when it comes to these things, Dujin replied. Lee Jae-hyung breathed a sigh of relief. That's good. They walked away, laughing. They didn't notice someone in a nearby warehouse aiming a gun at them. Back in the preparation room, the next round was an individual match. Lee Jae-hyung sat behind Dujin, explaining the rules while writing her number on her back. Dujin was listless, just wanting to be eliminated quickly so she could rest. Suddenly, someone stumbled and fell in front of them. Lim Se-yun, what are you doing? A boy barked, roughly pulling him up. But when he looked at Lee Jae-hyung, his expression softened into a fawning smile. Sorry, he's not feeling well today. Why does he have two guns? Dujin asked. It's probably a perk for being on the shooting team. Doesn't that give him a huge advantage? Not really, because you have to dodge the balls first. Dujin was speechless. So it's just dodgeball disguised as a shooting game. She muttered. Do you usually bully the underclassmen? Why are they so scared of you? The announcement blared, signaling the start of the match. For fairness, the game will be live-streamed by drone. Little Pink scrolled through their phone, searching for Han Jong-un and the guy with white hair. Dujin sensed someone approaching. She spun around, ready to shoot, but found Lee Jae-hyung standing there. Weren't we supposed to team up? He asked. You scare me. I almost shot you, Dujin exclaimed. Suddenly, Lee Jae-hyung fired behind her. Someone had tried to ambush them. Wow, you're pretty good, Dujin said, a competitive spark igniting within her. Let's see who gets the higher score. Loser gets flicked on the forehead for every point difference. Little Pink, watching the live stream, cheered. The queen is here. A bang echoed through the arena. Another player was eliminated. A moment ago, she'd been bored. Now, she was completely focused. I can't stand. A volley of shots rang out. Elimination announcements followed one after another. Get down. You're an easy target up there. As soon as he finished speaking, a ball hurtled towards Dujin. She jumped down to avoid it. Whoa, that was close. A man, caught off guard, found himself holding the girl. What are you doing? Put me down. Dujin looked around, trying to figure out where the ball had come from. Lee Jae-hyung watched her, a thoughtful expression on his face. Don't you sense it? He asked. Dujin looked at him quizzically. He sighed. I mean, your careless actions. The effect they have on others. You never seem to consider it. It was supposed to be a gunfight, but the two of them were acting like they were on a date. Her unintentional actions constantly stirred something within him. Little Pink resumed their shipping. See, I told you they were flirting. Lee Jae-hyung wouldn't act like that with anyone else. Someone sat down next to them. Jong-un, I was just looking for you. Where were you? Han Jong-un seemed different than usual. His expression was downcast. Is this some kind of curse? Every time it rains, something bad happens. I didn't believe it before, but does God really hate me? Should I pray or something? Little Pink was taken aback. What is he talking about? He never used to talk to me this much. Suddenly, static filled the air. The live stream cut out. The signal in the entire gymnasium went down. The scoreboard showed 3 players remaining. Lee Jae-hyung looked at Dujin. What do you want to do next? Wait, what's that? As soon as he spoke, the drone plummeted to the ground. Even the announcements stopped. Lee Jae-hyung noticed a figure suddenly appear in the distance. There wasn't time to warn Do-jin. He grabbed Do-jin, pulling her behind him as the distinct sound of a gun being cocked pierced the air. A deafening gunshot echoed through the gymnasium. Lee Jae-hyung stood protectively in front of Do-jin. For Do-jin, time seemed to freeze. That wasn't the sound of a toy gun. It was the unmistakable roar of a real firearm. Her eyes moved from Lee Jae-hyung's face downwards. Lee Jae-hyung had been shot. A tingling numbness spread through his shoulder, quickly followed by a searing, agonizing pain. Disbelief washed over Do-jin. How could this be? Lee Jae-hyung had taken a bullet for her. Not far behind him, a girl stood, gun still aimed at them. But strangely, the girl's expression was one of anguish. Tears streamed down her face, and she whimpered, "No, no, no." Do-jin's eyes narrowed, a fierce anger rising within her. The girl's hands trembled, yet she seemed poised to fire again. In a flash, Do-jin hurled her own gun, striking the girl squarely in the head. Lee Jae-hyung, fighting through the pain, opened his eyes. But the girl was gone. Where had she gone? Panic flashed across his face. Do-jin, seemingly appearing out of nowhere, was behind the girl, forcefully pinning her to the ground. "Who are you?" Do-jin demanded. The girl screamed, "Let me go," struggling with all her might, but to no avail. Do-jin swiftly disarmed her, pressing the gun against the girl's head. She growled, "You didn't do this on your own. Who sent you? Tell me who gave you this gun." Do-jin pressed the girl harder against the floor, then removed the gun from the girl's hand. "You didn't orchestrate this yourself. Who sent you here?" "I can't say," the girl stammered, fear evident in her eyes. "Who gave you this gun?" Do-jin pressed, her voice cold. Despite her terror, the girl remained silent. "Do you know why Woo Yuan-jun ran the moment he saw me? Because I killed 5 people in front of him. One more won't make a difference. You better talk. Now." The girl bit her lip, a flicker of resolve in her eyes. "Just do it," she whispered. Do-jin's fury surged. "Do you think I'm joking?" "I believe you," the girl choked out, "but please just kill me." This wasn't the first time Do-jin had encountered this kind of situation. The uncle who had raised her had suddenly betrayed the organization. By the time she arrived, she found a scene of carnage. Her uncle weeping, a knife poised to strike Chairman Joe. She had been forced to kill the man who had been like a father to her. It was a kill or be killed world. She couldn't understand his anger, his reasons. "You loved us the most," she had cried. "How could you do this? Please say something," she had begged. But her uncle, his throat damaged beyond repair, could only manage a choked whisper, "I'm sorry, just kill me." Do-jin's mind raced, landing on one person. Shin Myung-hwan, the executive director of SIA Group. Was it him? She demanded. The girl's face froze. A choked sob escaped her lips, a sound filled with pain and despair. Do-jin stood up, taking in the chaos around her. SIA Group again. Those damn bastards. The school was closed for 3 weeks after the incident, despite the violence. Because the victims were children of chaebol families, the incident barely caused a ripple, and Do-jin's true identity had been exposed. It must have been Woo Yuan-jun who revealed it. How'd I get away with that incident? She mused. He had powerful backing. Chairman Joe finally revealed that it was Han Jong-un who had intervened, promising to handle the situation. Do-jin had been too preoccupied with Lee Jae-hyung's near-death experience to remember. If that guy was Chairman Lee's son, Do-jin thought SIA would have known I was at the school. But if it was Han Jong-un, if he wanted to target me from the beginning, he's had countless opportunities. Just how much power does he have? He even managed to cover that up. I shouldn't have let Woo Yuan-jun go. But Lee Jae-hyung knows too, doesn't he? He doesn't seem to know the details, though. Suddenly, a thought struck her. The night I was attacked on my first day of school, someone searched my computer but didn't kill me. It's because they weren't sure of our true identities. But that person saw your uniform. You think he's with SIA? I think so. Do-jin fell silent for a long moment, then said, "I memorized Shin Myung-hwan's number. They used encrypted satellite phones to communicate." The phone rang. "Hello, this is Shin Myung-hwan." Silence met his greeting, but the man on the other end smiled. Lee Do-jin. He was Do-jin, the older man she had bumped into on campus. "Who are you?" Do-jin demanded. "I'd like to know that myself." The man replied, his voice smooth. "Who is Miss Do-jin? Really? If you keep spouting that nonsense." "Of course I know." The man chuckled. "You're just CO1's little lapdog, aren't you? How do you know the boss's name? I thought you were all dead. It's such a pleasure to meet an old friend after all this time. I'm certain there are at least 3 of you still alive. But I've been thinking, why would this old friend appear at that school? I suspect it's because you're incapable capable of taking revenge on the chairman. So you're targeting his family instead. A blood-curdling scream echoed from the other end of the line. Don't beg them to spare Dad. It was the girl who had been humming during the earlier shooting. She scribbled something on a piece of paper. Find the location. Shin Myung-hwan suddenly proposed trade. So, I have a proposition. The line abruptly went dead. They had almost been traced. The white-haired man had no choice but to hang up. However, he now had the address. Do you remember Uncle Iron? Do-jin, it wasn't your fault. If you hadn't stopped me, I would have died at Big Brother's hands long ago. You need to move on. Don't keep looking back at that despair-filled face. How can he possibly move on? Where do I need to go? Where are you going? Is it because of that girl? Se-yeon. Are you crazy? We can hardly afford to worry about anyone else right now. Shin Myung-hwan was right. Because they're powerless against SIA Group, they're going after his heir. And because of that reckless action, innocent people got dragged into this. Lim Se-yeon and Lee Jae-hyung. The white-haired man knew that once Do-jin made up his mind, no one could stop him. He wrapped books around Do-jin's body. This won't stop a bullet, but it might stop a knife. Remember this. You absolutely cannot die. We've already paid the price for crossing them. I don't want to lose you too. Inside the abandoned building, a tall man stood guard. Footsteps echoed in the distance. He immediately called out on his walkie-talkie, but there was no response from security. The man drew his weapon and advanced, only to be stabbed in the next instant. Then the next one. He emerged from the darkness, giving his opponents no chance to react, taking them down one by one, until he reached his target. Lim Se-yeon's face was etched with terror. The masked figure struck down another man, pressing against his vulnerable throat. The man beneath him suddenly drew a knife. With lightning speed, his attacker broke his hand. When the girl finally got a clear look, she realized it was the woman who had returned. A palpable killing intent radiated from her. Lead the way to your father. The corpse spoke. Those were the only words he managed to utter before blood sprayed from his neck as Do-jin tightened her grip. He became the corpse he had just spoken of. A cry for help echoed from a distance. The attacker threatened the girl's life, demanding he surrender. But Do-jin just laughed. This is more like what SIA would do. Not long ago, when he had suggested Se-yeon lead the way to rescue her father, the girl had been afraid. I recognize your voice. I tried to hurt you before, and I hurt innocent people. Why are you saving me? Do-jin asked, is Lee Jae-hyung still alive? They said it was attempted assault, so you should just go back. They're not like you and your sister think. They're serious. People vildi. Even if we manage to save my dad, we'll just be caught again. Shut up and lead the way, you coward. The moment you took that gun, you couldn't even fire at those guys. Instead, you pointed it at innocent people. Rather than blaming others, you should seize this opportunity. If you want to spend the rest of your life hiding, I won't stop you. Get out. Se-yeon finally grabbed his arm. I'm sorry. I don't want to die. Please save my dad. Meanwhile, her father was pleading with his captors. I'll give you anything. Just please let my daughter go. Don't worry. We've already made arrangements for your daughter. When she gets out of prison, we'll set her up with a nice job. She won't have to worry about working a day in her life. The man was dragged away. He was hoisted into the air, struggling desperately. One of his accomplices started yelling into a radio. A-block basement. We have a rat. He's in. We've caught the little rat. Who are you? Did you come alone? Talk, or I'll make you. Damn it. Let me get a good look at you. What do you think you are, punk? You have the nerve to barge in here alone, and you're laughing. A woman's cold voice echoed around him. The corpse speaks. The man's throat was slit in an instant. Another cry for help rang out. Se-yeon was grabbed by one of the attackers. If you don't want anything to happen to her, drop your weapon. Hands up. Do-jin dropped her weapon. Is it about the money? You should have done your research. Do you know who you're messing with? I know exactly what I'm doing. I've seen a few knife-wielding thugs back at headquarters, but these guys are nothing compared to them. They're perfect targets. Se-yeon's father suddenly lunged at the man. Do-jin's heart leaped into her throat. She instantly charged towards them, but the man had already grabbed Se-yeon again. Do-jin was too late, so easily swayed by compassion. How do you expect to get your revenge, Lee Do-jin? Do-jin froze. Why would he attack his own man? Instead of her, Shin Myung-hwan tossed a key towards them. You can leave now. But Se-yeon stood frozen in shock. I said get out. Do-jin isn't here to save you. He looked at Do-jin, who gestured for him to leave quickly. Shin Myung-hwan sat down casually. We still have unfinished business. I have a proposition. Do-jin interrupted. That's not usually called a proposition. It's called a threat. Shin Myung-hwan smirked. He actually intended to use Do-jin to eliminate Chairman Lee's son. Only the current chairman supports him him within the group. There was originally a successor. Although we have different stances, our goals are the same. Do you really think I'll just surrender after this is all over? I'm certain you have a strong sense of justice, and you're quite conflicted. Run if you want. After all, there are plenty of people around you who can be used as hostages. When Du Jin returned, she was met by a wary Zhou Taewong. It seemed he had relaxed after seeing Du Jin. Thank goodness. You're all right. He ignored the white-haired man and went to the phone he had used at the school. It showed multiple missed calls. The phone rang. It was Han Jong-un, who hadn't been seen for a while. Du Jin's voice came from the other end. Are you humming? Is he still alive? Tell me where he is. The man, initially happy to receive the call, suddenly changed his expression. Upon learning that the girl he liked was going to his rival's house, he rushed over there without stopping, only to see Du Jin being embraced by him. The two men were locked in a silent, jealous battle. Meanwhile, the girl was solely focused on finding her enemy. Shin Myung-hwan hinted, CA's young master has recently gotten into drugs. Du Jin recalled the needle marks on Lee Jae-hyung from before, so she asked Han Jong-un for his address. Long time no see. Lee Jae-hyung. The man's chest was wrapped in bandages. What are you doing here? Just wanted to see if you were okay. Being alive is enough, isn't it? Du Jin was both suspicious that he was CA's heir and worried that he was just an ordinary person caught up in her mess. It was just a game. Why did you jump in front of the bullet that day? I just thought something was strange. I didn't know beforehand. You don't need to feel sorry about it. Strange. What do you mean? Enough. We'll talk about this later. I have a headache. If I don't say it now, I won't get another chance. Why? Because I won't be going back to school. Although you were the one injured, they were actually targeting me. Why do you think they were targeting you? Du Jin countered. Do you have any reason to be targeted? Lee Jae-hyung changed the subject. Because of this incident, the school has tightened security. They're going to prohibit outsiders from entering and increase the number of guards. Seeing Lee Jae-hyung about to leave, Du Jin grabbed him. Tell me clearly who it is. And why are they targeting you? Lee Du Jin, you're always asking questions, but you never talk about yourself. Who are you really? Can you tell me? Weren't you going to tell me before? You came here alone, without a car or bodyguards. Doesn't your family have anyone protecting you? Then come my house. Du Jin knew very well that Lee Jae-hyung's concern was less about her safety and more about keeping her under surveillance. You wanted to stay at your house. At least you'll be safe at my place. Someone will drive you to and from school. He swayed slightly as he walked towards Du Jin. Come and stay with me. You wanted to keep going to school because I think being around people. He didn't finish his sentence. Lee Jae-hyung suddenly collapsed against her. My head's so dizzy. Du Jin was momentarily stunned. Just then, Han Jong-un walked in and saw them. Lee Jae-hyung, though appearing weak, showed no sign of vulnerability when he opened his eyes. Han Jong-un's eyes widened, but in the next second, his demeanor completely changed. So you agreed so readily. I was wondering what was going on. You wanted me to see this, didn't you? Du Jin was surprised. Why was Han Jong-un here too? She helped Lee Jae-hyung lie down. Han Jong-un wasn't about to let it go. So Jae-hyung has such a cute side too. Lee Jae-hyung finally spoke. Why are you here? I came to visit because I was worried. Unless you came to spy on what I'm doing with Du Jin. An Yeonun post, then left. You caught me. You don't seem to be in a good mood. I'll just leave this and go. He really does say anything. Han Jong-un tilted his head, looking at him. What happened to your face? Are you hurt again? None of your business. Just go. Let's go together. I'll walk you out. Du Jin changed her mind. Actually, wait for me outside. I have something to tell you. Han Jong-un obediently turned to leave, adding, It's good to see you awake again, Jae-hyung. Just as he was about to step out the door, Lee Jae-hyung suddenly spoke. Was it you? Were you the one who told Se-yeon to do this? Han Jong-un, what do you mean? On the day of the sports festival, in a warehouse next to yours. I saw Se-yeon there too. It was just the two of you. Why were you at the warehouse that day? You're saying I'm a mastermind just based on that. That's a bit far-fetched, isn't it? You're different from others, though. That senior who disappeared 2 years ago. I heard he had to change his residence every few months, as if someone was after him. Need I say more? What are you trying to say? Is this why you had to target me? You're the type to get rid of anything that's in your way, right? You probably would do something like that. Or maybe, if something were to happen to me, it would benefit you. It wasn't Lee Jae-hyung who answered him this time, but Du Jin. It wasn't Han Jong-un who instructed her. It was SIA Group, Shin Myung-hwan. As the girl shed a tear, the man panicked. He thought he had made his crush cry, unaware that it was a ploy by Du Jin. A moment ago, seeing that Lee Jae-hyung was about to provoke Han Jong-un, he finally spoke up. It wasn't Han Jong-un who instructed Se-yun. It was SIA Group, Shin Myung-hwan. Unfortunately, from his angle, he couldn't clearly see Lee Jae-hyung's expression. With the misunderstanding cleared, Han Jong-un prepared to leave. "Let's go." Lee Jae-hyung stopped him again. "Do-jin and I still have things to discuss. Go ahead." Unexpectedly, Han Jong-un readily agreed this time. "See you at school, Do-jin." "How did you know it was that person?" "I'll tell you later." "Where's my room?" Lee Jae-hyung, who had been lying down, abruptly sat up. "What? Weren't you going to let me stay with you?" Do-jin stayed behind. After being led to the room, she immediately called Jo Tae-woong. "It's me, brother." Jo Tae-woong was almost taken aback by the word brother. "What's gotten into you?" "I'm going to stay at Lee Jae-hyung's house for a while." Jo Tae-woong quickly understood. He realized she was worried about listening devices in the room. Then, through hints, he learned that Do-jin wanted him to investigate Lee Jae-hyung's family. By the time she hung up, the girl was holding a bedside lamp. It was her turn to investigate. A loud crash. Guards instantly burst into the room. "Miss, are you all right?" The girl's voice was filled with fear. "Red, whenever I see red, I'm reminded of that day. Please take all those things away." Seeing only one guard leave. "Wait, there's that one too." By the time the guard realized what was happening, the girl had already vanished. She knew Lee Jae-hyung would have people watching her. How else would they have come in so quickly after she broke the window? Her acting seemed pretty good, but they came back too fast. She decided to feign madness. "It's all red." She grabbed a railing and jumped. A smooth roll softened her landing. The guards finally realized something was amiss. Breaking out in a cold sweat, one reported to his superior she jumped from the second floor. Do-jin shook off her pursuers. "For guards on the second floor, 5 on the first. Is this a study?" He's someone who's read so many books. "Let me see." Just as she reached out, her hand was pushed down. "Lee Do-jin, what are you doing here?" Lee Jae-hyung suddenly appeared behind her. "What's going on?" "There's only one entrance." "Had he been here the whole time? Why can't you just stay put?" "The situation is already sensitive. Why are you causing trouble? Don't you know I brought you here for your protection?" Even someone as oblivious as she was could tell Lee Jae-hyung was angry. "Go back to your room. I'm asking you to go back and stay there." His expression was unsettling. It gave her the feeling that if she went back now, he would lock her up forever. "Wait." In her desperation, she lunged forward. And at that moment, a movie scene flashed through her mind. This is it. Learn from this. Do-jin. What's the use of just hugging someone without further communication? That's why I said you have a problem. How can you be so unromantic? In relationships, logic won't solve everything. Sentimental things are what truly work, especially for someone like you. This kind of contrast with your usual self is even more effective. He pinched his wound. He almost coughed up blood from the pain. Lee Jae-hyung's expression shifted slightly. Do-jin's eyes welled up, a glistening film of tears blurring her vision. "I'm sorry," she choked out. "Being alone in that room, it makes me anxious. I don't know how to describe it. I just get scared." She continued, "Since things are already like this, at least let me out of the room." Lee Jae-hyung's face flushed crimson. His words suddenly stumbled. "Why are you crying?" Despite his flustered state, he steadied Do-jin before, spinning around and practically fleeing the room, his blush now reaching his neck. Do-jin remained where she was. "See, I knew this wouldn't work." Even though Lee Jae-hyung had turned as red as a tomato, oblivious Do-jin didn't grasp the reason behind his reaction. Meanwhile, the guard, who had witnessed the whole scene, was left utterly bewildered. "Please, don't run away again," she pleaded internally. As Do-jin had suspected, Lee Jae-hyung had indeed assigned people to watch her. There were even surveillance cameras in the room. What was he doing now? He was lying on his bed, staring blankly at the ceiling. Wasn't he doing the same thing an hour ago? Yes, he had been in that same position for over an hour. The memory of Do-jin's tearful face continued to make his heart race. Lee Jae-hyung mumbled softly to himself. "Did I speak too harshly?" The guard watching the surveillance feed suddenly tensed. "Emergency. The young miss is on the windowsill." "I'll alert the guards immediately. Send someone to the first floor. You were too scared to come in before." "What's the situation now?" By the time they forced the door open, the room was empty. The window was wide open. Lee Jae-hyung rushed to the window, searching for any sign of Do-jin. Suddenly, he heard her voice behind him. Protect me. He turned to see Jin leaning against the wall. Don't be ridiculous. She continued. Since you're here, take down the cameras. Lee Jae-hyung's gaze was fixed on her. Whether it was her annoyed expression, her unexpected actions, or her seemingly naive reactions, he couldn't look away. But if she were truly naive, how could she have seen through everything so clearly? She constantly kept him on edge. How did you know there were cameras here? Shouldn't you be apologizing first? He sighed. Fine, I'm sorry. The cameras have been here for a while. I can't tell you why, but if you want to leave, I can have someone take you. Having been caught monitoring her, he expected Jin to demand to leave. Instead, she pointed at him and declared, I'm taking your room. In the end, Lee Jae-hyung didn't agree to give her his room, but he did provide her with a different one. And, at her insistence, the room was thoroughly checked before she settled in. She was quite satisfied with the meals provided. She had also gotten plenty of rest. Although she was reluctant to admit it, the past week had been quite comfortable. She heard footsteps approaching. Must be afternoon tea time. But it was Lee Jae-hyung who entered. Why are you here? Jin rose from the water, her wet clothes clinging to her. Can I finally end my quarantine? Lee Jae-hyung turned his head away. What quarantine? Are you in confinement? Pretty much, she replied. Your cast is off. You haven't come to see me in so long. What's up? Lee Jae-hyung finally remembered why he had come. Do you like swimming? Jin crouched by the pool, her voice brimming with excitement. What? You have a pool too. No one uses it, so it's always empty. Guess it's time to have it filled. Will it be ready? Tomorrow or the day after? Come on, I'll show you around. What's this? A projector. Jin tilted her head. He was going to watch a movie. I've loved watching movies here since I was little. So you've lived here alone since you were a child? Not exactly. There were people who took care of me. It seemed there was more to the story, but she doubted he would answer even if she asked. He chose a slow-paced art film, which she found rather dull. Is this interesting? It's for clearing my mind. I don't want to watch anything too stimulating right now. Not interested in the movie, Jin turned her attention to observing Lee Jae-hyung. Even without him saying a word, she could sense his underlying emotions. She placed a hand on his head. Just erase those unpleasant thoughts from your mind, okay? Don't always dwell on the bad stuff. A faint blush crept onto Lee Jae-hyung's cheeks. As darkness fell, Jin woke up to realize they had fallen asleep. Lee Jae-hyung's head rested on her shoulder, sleeping soundly. It should be fine to leave him here, right? This is a good chance to investigate. When Jin left the room and encountered guard, she learned that Lee Jae-hyung had been suffering from severe insomnia recently, and that, aside from his own bedroom, he wouldn't fall asleep anywhere else. Not long after Jin left, Lee Jae-hyung woke up. He reached out to the space beside him. She was gone, but the warmth of her presence lingered, a ghost of her touch. He stared at the spot where she had been sitting, his gaze fixed. Lee Jae-hyung kept everyone at arm's length, his true feelings a closely guarded secret. The strange thing was, despite his obvious vulnerabilities, Jin seemed perpetually captivated by his outward appearance. Why? What was it that he truly wanted? Suddenly, a hand pressed against his abdomen, preventing him from straightening up. The intrusion startled him. Jin flinched. Are you trying to break my back? You can't just put pressure on it like that. What are you doing here? Only after asking did he notice the out-of-breath security guard in the distance. I'm allowed out now, aren't I? Jae-hyung had intended to seek Jin out after his workout, but she had beaten him to it. Let's get dinner. I'm starving. Me too. After dinner, the moment they stepped inside, Jin sprawled dramatically across the bed. Jae-hyung walked towards her. Hold on, I need a shower first. Should he use this opportunity to search the room? But the man returned with unexpected speed. Jin, caught off guard, feigned nonchalance. You showered quickly. Don't you get lonely living in such a big house all by yourself? No, not really. Han Jong-un's place is pretty normal. You and Hwang Ji-yun, you've been to Han Jong-un's place. Don't get the wrong idea. I just went over for ramen. Jae-hyung raised an eyebrow. Ramen. He was losing his mind. Why do things always end up like this? It was all Jo Tae-woong's fault, that bastard. You said you liked him. That's why I told you all this. That guy, Han Jong-un, he's not exactly clean when it comes to relationships. There was a time he was dating women like crazy. They all had one thing in common. They all worked at large-scale, illegal entertainment venues. Serious criminal histories. Jin thought, what the hell? He wasn't just dating them for fun. Yeah, whether it's a peculiar hobby or he's using them, something's not right. It seemed Jae-hyung had done his research. Han Jong-un could definitely provide some useful information. Jae-hyung suddenly moved closer. Even after hearing all that, you still like him. The girl he liked was lying right next to him, yet he couldn't bring himself to make a move, because her heart belonged to someone else. After deliberately revealing Han Jong-un's messy love life, he asked again, his voice laced with a hint of desperation. Even so, you still like him. But before he could hear her answer, he retreated. Out of habit, he reached for a cigarette, then remembered he'd quit recently. Do-jin snatched it away. With your health, you're still thinking about that. Are you crazy? How many hours did you sleep last night? Despite being in his own home, he seemed like a child caught doing something wrong. Besides that time at the movies, I slept another hour. In the next instant, Do-jin pushed him onto the bed. What are you doing? Jae-hyung started to get up, but Do-jin pushed him back down. What I need to do right now is sleep. Fine, but I can't sleep anyway. At least lie down and close your eyes. I'll be right here next to you. Although Do-jin said this, she actually intended to use the opportunity to search the room. Jae-hyung studied her thoughtfully for a moment before giving in. When I couldn't sleep as a child, they were always there beside me. Your mother. Not my mother, but someone who meant even more to me than her. So he answered yes. I never thought I was lonely, but I must have been. Just having someone next to me feels so warm. It's like I'm hearing you talk about yourself for the first time. Haven't I told you a lot? This is different. Tell me more. Soon, Jae-hyung began to laugh. That time I caught a thief at the internet cafe. Is it that funny? Not really, but it sounds like something only you would do. Reckless and impulsive. Are you still not sleepy? Listening to your stories makes me drowsy. His voice grew softer. Tell me more. Your voice is nice. Do-jin thought, I can't believe I'm having to put a grown man to sleep. Later, she searched the bedroom thoroughly, but found nothing unusual. Then the phone rang. It was Han Jong-un. On the other end, the puppy gazed up at the starry sky, waiting for the call to connect. He smiled brightly, his voice brimming with joy as he called her name. Do-jin, you actually answered. Why did you call? Did you get home safely that day? Are you all right? But Do-jin coldly ignored his questions. Why did you call me? She repeated. He stammered, the puppy blushing even though they weren't face to face. He bent down, hands on his knees, trying to hide his nervous excitement. I missed you. Do-jin thought he should just hang up. Wait, Do-jin. I wanted to ask if you're coming to school tomorrow. She considered it. Things had gone this far. She might as well. I'll be there. See you tomorrow. Okay, I'll hang up then. But Do-jin, where are you? He quickly replied, at home, and hung up immediately. Han Jong-un's perceptiveness was sometimes unnerving. The next day, as Do-jin was about to leave, she ran into Lee Jae-hyung. He seemed to be waiting for her. Did you sleep well? Do-jin nodded. Aren't you going to school today? I'll go next week. It must be hot wearing the winter uniform still, right? Yeah, but I don't have a summer one. He paused, waiting. He brought her a summer school uniform. How did you get this? My older sister used to wear it. What? You had a sister? Come on, you're going to be late. Fine, I'll ask later. Do-jin gathered up the uniform. Lee Jae-hyung smiled, watching her hurry. Be careful. The moment she stepped into the classroom, Ji-yeon's anxious heart finally settled. Do-jin, do you know how worried I was? Why didn't you answer my calls? She knew she had to stay in contact with Han Jong-un for the investigation, but she didn't want to drag Ji-yeon into it. It was all Shin Myung-hwan's fault, that damn bastard. We only knew there was a murder, but not the details. I was so worried, terrified something happened to you. Do-jin feigned indiferença. I wasn't feeling well. Just go. Ji-yeon froze, convinced she'd misheard. That's rude. Are you in a bad mood because it's so hot? Let's go to the beach. Find a resort, have some barbecue, wear bikinis. You're my way. Leave me alone. Don't get involved with me anymore. You'll be in danger. Days of worry, coupled with Do-jin's sudden coldness, were too much for Ji-yeon. Fighting back tears, she choked out, "You're so mean," and fled the classroom. Watching her go, Do-jin sighed. She was alone again. Not that it was a bad thing. Isn't that Do-jin? I heard she's dating Lee Jae-hyung. What? I thought it was Han Jong-un. As the two gossiped, they witnessed a shocking scene. Han Jong-un suddenly hugged Do-jin from behind. Do-jin, I missed you so much. He held her tightly, prompting Do-jin to elbow him away. Don't hug me so casually. Sorry, I was just so happy. We haven't seen each other in almost a month. How have you been? But what happened with you and Ji-yeon? I just saw her, and she looked really upset. Jin Sigid. She's still upset. Jong-un asked curiously. What happened? Nothing much. Jong-un, looking like a forlorn puppy, pleaded, tell me what happened. She really didn't want to say, but his expression was hard to resist. I'm just worried that being with me will put her in a bad situation. I'll handle it myself. Don't worry about it. But Han Jong-un led her aside. Here's what I think. Even if you try to distance yourself from her now, it's too late. It's better to just protect her by staying close. What do you think? Jin knew he was right. She'd already been targeted. Trying to maintain distance would be pointless self-deception. She'd already dragged an innocent person into this mess. It's okay, Jin. As if reading her mind, Han Jong-un continued, nothing will happen. He paused mid-sentence. Actually, why do I keep smelling Lee Jae-hyung on you? Were you two together again today? Jin felt a flicker of guilt. Is it because I changed shampoos? No, wait. Why should she care what Han Jong-un thought? What's it to you? Jong-un closed his eyes. I'm so frustrated with myself. I have no right to say these things. Jin still didn't understand Han Jong-un's fixation on her. Why are you doing this to me? He smiled. Because you're beautiful. So beautiful it's hard to forget you after just one glance. Jin was taken aback. Even a compliment from him felt devoid of romance. According to Jae-hyung, the number of women he'd dated was probably staggering, but he didn't seem like that kind of person. She found him increasingly incomprehensible. Then, she remembered the woman related to her by blood. Could she have been one of them? She stared at Han Jong-un's back, a disturbing thought taking root. How much did he really know about her? In contrast to Jin's unease, Jong-un seemed completely relaxed. Jin, look over there. He grabbed her hand and pulled her forward, steadying her. Looking up, she saw Ji-yun standing there, her eyes red-rimmed. The sight made her uncomfortable. Glaring at Ji-yun, she snapped, what do you want? Jong-un mouthed the words, apologized to her. Jin was bewildered, but the words were already on the tip of her tongue. About what happened earlier. No, Jin, I've been out of line lately. I'm sorry. Ji-yun seemed different. Her usual spark was gone, replaced by something subdued, almost timid. We really are different. Because you're one of them. So this is how it should be, right? Jin wanted to deny it. But Ji-yun turned and ran away again. Why is she acting like this? I think there's been a misunderstanding. It's unsettling. He was here for revenge. Hwang Ji-yun was just a tool to gather information. He had no reason to care about her. If he softened so easily, how could he ever avenge his sister? But Jin's gaze followed the retreating pink figure. Why does he care so much? Jin muttered, starting to walk away. Suddenly, a voice startled her. Would you please stop doing that? Appearing out of nowhere behind me. Miss, you need to come back now. It was one of Lee Jae-hyung's guards. I'll be back later. It would be best if you return with me now. Just give me an hour or two. Seeing he was about to lose her, he pressed on. Miss, it's not like, do I need your permission for this sort of thing? We're just following orders. Han Jong-un looked at her quizzically. Does Jin even have a driver? Then, he whispered, hey, are you free today? After receiving an affirmative nod, he felt a hand slip into his. Jin pulled him in the direction Ji-yun had run. Behind them, a startled voice called out. While Jong-un didn't know what Jin was planning, he glanced back and a thrill of excitement shot through him. This was the first time Jin had taken his hand to lead him somewhere, and the sheer joy of it made him chuckle. On the early summer streets, the girl pulled the giggling boy along, running at full speed. The mere act of being pressed against a wall by her sent shivers of excitement down his spine. In her search for Ji-yun, Jin found herself once again entangled with Han Jong-un. After shaking off Lee Jae-hyung's guards, Jong-un leaned against a wall, panting, I'm about more out of shape than I thought. Jin, you might not know this, but running to escape a car is tiring for anyone. But the thought that this was his first date with her renewed his energy. Jin scanned their surroundings. Focused on their escape, she had lost sight of Ji-yun. You followed me because you're worried about her, didn't you? He quickly realized she didn't want to admit it. Even her awkwardness was endearing to him. Wait a minute. He pulled out his phone. Sure enough, Ji-yun had updated her social media. They quickly located her based on the photo's location. Jin whipped her head around. He almost caught her staring. One was filled with trepidation, the other with a sense of playful thrill. This won't do, Jin hissed. Your hair is too noticeable. Duningakab, jaune burst oud lauwing. You're even more conspicuous now. Shut up and stop laughing. I was just trying it out. Finally, at Jong-un's suggestion, they even changed clothes. Black caps and matching t-shirts made them look like a couple on a date. They soon followed Ji-yun to a coffee shop. I think I know why Ji-yun is acting like that, he said. Look at this. There's a demotion notice on the school forum. and Ji-Yun's name is on it. What is this? Bullying. Even if the school ignores it, they'll eventually have to address it. It's all for show, though. Ji-Yun's family's company stock has been plummeting recently. That's probably why she said those things. But Do-Jin, are you trying to mend things with her? Do-Jin wasn't sure how to handle the situation. Regardless of your reasons, you need to give her an explanation she can accept. Otherwise, it'll only deepen the misunderstanding. This is just my opinion, but I hope you two can patch things up. Do-Jin looked at him puzzled. Why? Han Jong-un stared into his teacup, lost in thought. Because when you're with Ji-Yun, you seem to smile a lot. Do-Jin's hand tightened around her cup. When she initially suspected Han Jong-un was using her, she felt both creeped out and strangely relieved. If he truly had ulterior motives, then they were both exploiting each other. At least that would lessen her guilt. But this made her uncomfortable. As much as she hated to admit it, she could sense genuine concern in his words. Just then, Ji-Yun abruptly stood up and left. They followed her again. Why are we following her like this? You're not even going to talk to her. He was worried Ji-Yun might be attacked, but he couldn't tell Han Jong-un the reason. It's all Shin Myung-hwan's fault, that bastard. Hello. Ji-Yun's voice suddenly rang out. Have you seen a pink wallet? I think I dropped it somewhere. They froze. Bu-gun, Chu-sheng. I'm sure I had it when I left after paying. Wait. Seeing the two figures running away, Ji-Yun naturally assumed they were thieves. Hey, stop. You stole my wallet. Do-Jin realized they were trapped. They'd run into a dead end. Ji-Yun yelled as she caught up. I've got you now. But the alley was empty. They had clearly run this way. Finally, she sighed. Nothing's going right today. At the end of the alley, Do-Jin had Han Jong-un cornered. She was going crazy. She'd planned to keep her distance. Yet here she was, initiating contact again, even closer than before. In contrast to Do-Jin's awkwardness, Han Jong-un was ecstatic. He trembled, his heart pounding. He was practically buzzing with excitement. Just seconds ago, she had been deliberately keeping her distance. He carefully maintained his balance. As long as she stayed still, he wouldn't touch her. But his cap slipped. He reached up to catch it, and the slightest brush of his hand against hers made Do-Jin lose her balance. She had no choice but to grab Han Jong-un to keep from falling. Hey, you did that on purpose, didn't you? A suspicious blushkere. How could you say that? Do you need me to hold you up? Do-Jin turned her head away, only to discover that Ji-Yun had already left. Exhausted, she crouched down on the ground. Let's go. He offered her his hand. Do-Jin simply stared at him. Forget it. I'm going back. What about Ji-Yun? I don't know. She'll figure it out. Then I'll walk you back. Han Jong-un suddenly stopped. Wait a minute, Do-Jin. Not far away lay one of Ji-Yun's shoes. As if to prove his sincerity, the girl grabbed the boy and kissed him, and right in front of Lee Jae-hyung. For the first time, she chose Han Jong-un. Having witnessed Ji-Yun being attacked, Do-Jin's taut nerve snapped. She snatched the liquid the attacker was about to throw at Ji-Yun and tossed it to Han Jong-un. It was hydrochloric acid. She slammed the attacker against the wall. Who are you? Did Shin Myung-hwan send you? At the same time, Han Jong-un rushed to Ji-Yun's side. Are you okay? Ji-Yun's vision blurred. The next moment, she fainted. The man beneath her was no longer resisting. But Do-Jin continued to pummel him, fist after fist, until Han Jong-un yelled for her to stop. Your hand is injured. Only then did she come back to her senses. After an investigation, it turned out the attacker had no connection to the counterfeiting ring. It was a crime stemming from a personal grudge. Should she be thankful that Han Ji-Yun hadn't been targeted yet? Thank you so much, Ji-Yun's father said, his voice choked with emotion. If it weren't for you both, I can't bear to think what might have happened. At the gathering, he suddenly grabbed Do-Jin's hand. Child, your hand. Such beautiful hands. I will repay you for this. Do-Jin didn't respond, her gaze fixed on the girl's retreating figure. Ji-Yun's father asked anxiously, did I do something wrong? It's nothing. You should head back. I'll be going too. Do-Jin was lost in thought. She hadn't wanted to get involved with any more innocent people. But how many more would these hands end up hurting? Did she even deserve his gratitude? Han Jong-un caught up to Do-Jin. Let me take you home. Oh, and I have something for you. Just then, a familiar voice rang out. Get your hands off Han Jong-un. It was Lee Jae-hyung. He had followed her. What do you think you're doing? He grabbed her arm, his voice tight with emotion. Lee Do-Jin, why are you acting like this? What was with the police cars? Why did you turn off your phone and not answer my calls? Why do you always make me worry so much? Han Jong-un pulled him away, taking Do-Jin's hand. Can't you talk to her properly? Don't be so emotional. A jolt of pain shot through Lee Jae-hyung's shoulder. He knew about his injury. It was deliberate. His tone hardening. Come here, Lee Do-Jin. Unexpectedly, she refused. No, I'm going home today. What do you mean? My family needs me for something, and I'm not so weak that you need to worry about me. So don't. I'll see you at school next week. Every time she was with Lee Jae-hyung, she felt an inexplicable sense of guilt and pity for him. Staying with him would only intensify that uncomfortable feeling, especially after seeing how distraught he was. She wanted to be anywhere but with him. But she hadn't accomplished anything today either. No, she had to focus. You like Lee Jae-ha, don't you? Seeing Do-jin's speechless expression, Han Jong-un laughed. I knew you didn't. I thought you'd keep pestering me about it. Are you talking about the two of you? Jae-hyung used the sports festival as an excuse to get you to his house, saying it was for your protection. Knowing you, you wouldn't agree so easily. So I figured you must want something from him. To have agreed to go to his place. So I let it go. She had to admit, Han Jong-un was incredibly perceptive. He had deduced the situation almost perfectly with just a few words. Do-jin changed her mind. I'm going to your place today. You moved. You remember, I've moved because of an unexpected guest. Let me get you some comfortable clothes. He led Do-jin into his bedroom. Take your time changing. I'll wait for you in the living room. His move couldn't have been under normal circumstances. Staying by Lee Jae-hyung's side would only get her so much information about Han Jong-un. Lee Jae-hyung didn't even know his true identity. How about you get this guy to open up? She would start with what he cared about most. Why me? An yeonun froze alfresiv. What? Even without me, there must be plenty of women who would date you. Why me? What do you mean, plenty of women? Why would you think that? I heard it from Lee Jae-hyung. An yeonun saif. Because you're different from them. Different how? I'm sincere about you. Why should I believe you? Han Jong-un countered, and what about you? You agree to dates with such a reluctant look on your face. I can clearly see you're annoyed. But whenever I ask you out, you never refuse. Are you sincere about me? Or do you have another motive? I am sincere, Do-jin replied, then turned away. This guy's intuition is terrifying. He had to be careful. He couldn't let Han Jong-un suspect him any further. Really? Han Jong-un suddenly tilted her chin up, forcing her to meet his gaze. Then look me in the eyes and tell me. If you're sincere about me, are you also sincere about Lee Jae-hyung? His eyes seemed to pierce right through her. That's the problem. She grabbed Han Jong-un's hand, pulled him closer and leaned in. A soft kiss landed on his lips. That's my answer. When facing Do-jin, Han Jong-un had always suppressed his feelings. No matter how anxious he felt, he never showed it. He was afraid that if he treated her the way he truly wanted, he would scare her away. If it meant keeping her close, if a little restraint meant she would stay by his side, he would hide his true nature for a lifetime. But she had just kissed him. Could he dare to hope for more? Don't pull away. If you're truly sincere, if you like me, there's no reason to refuse. Isn't that right? Are you having second thoughts? Do-jin thought he was crazy. She pushed against him, but her strength seemed to drain away. Only when he relaxed his grip did she manage to spit out, "You're insane." Believe me now. Han Jong-un caught her hand and slowly brought it down to his chest. Beneath her palm, she felt the frantic beating of his heart. I'm sincere about you. She was completely caught off guard. She realized she had been overlooking a simple truth. By treating every student as merely a subject of investigation, she had limited her perspective. Only now did she realize that Han Jong-un was, in fact, a member of the opposite sex. Jo Tae-oh had repeatedly emphasized using her charms to get close to him. She thought she understood, but she hadn't grasped the concept at all. She needed to stay focused. She couldn't see him as anything other than a subject of investigation. It was just a kiss. But the truth was, the impact of that kiss was profound. It would become her biggest regret. Emerging from the bathroom, she told herself to act as if nothing had happened. To be natural, but he was giving her a strange look. What's with the long face? I'm the one who should be awkward. No, I was just thinking about Do-jin. Have you ever used that excuse to kiss Lee Jae-hyung? Han Jong-un's expression gave Do-jin a sudden sense of satisfaction. You said your intuition was good, right? Then guess. What? Can't you figure it out? Suddenly, her stomach rumbled loudly. An yeonun luktriliv. You're hungry. Slurping noodles. Do-jin muttered. You should just get along with Lee Jae-hyung. I'd like to, but he keeps bad-mouthing me in front of you. What am I supposed to do? Have you ever considered that you might be partly responsible? Didn't you say that if you want to avoid misunderstandings, you have to let the other person accept you first? Well, that's true. I may not know everything, but I know one thing for sure. Do-jin, You're different from them. Where do I even begin? I didn't do any of those things. And I have nothing to do with Lim Se-yun. She still didn't believe him. If you have something to do with Shin Myung-hwan, that's a different story. But you really didn't do anything to that upperclassman. I only found out about that upperclassman from Jae-hyung. That day was just a coincidence. I was angry, but I really didn't do anything. He probably touched something he shouldn't have. Do-jin still believed he knew something, but was refusing to tell her. Han Jong-un smiled. I have to keep you curious about me, so you'll come looking for me like you did today. Just kidding. I really don't know. And I don't want to disrupt this peaceful life. Like this moment, sitting here eating with you. Do-jin eventually offered to sleep on the sofa, but Han Jong-un insisted on sleeping on the floor, closer to her. Aside from everything else, he slept soundly. The more time she spent there, the more surreal it felt. Taking out the phone she'd swiped from Han Jong-un, bypassing facial recognition was easy. But she hadn't expected him to still use a passcode. Han Jong-un had opened his eyes at some point. Startled, she nearly jumped. You weren't asleep. He closed his eyes again, a smile playing on his lips. After a moment, he spoke as if just waking up, his voice languid and slightly slurred. I believe what you said earlier, about being sincere towards me. He stared at her sleeping face, reluctant to wake her. She finally opened her eyes, his gaze drawing her out of sleep. What are you looking at? You were sleeping so soundly, I didn't know if I should wake you. Seeing you like this when I open my eyes, that it's surreal. But we should get going. Rubbing her eyes, she asked where to. You were calling Hwang Ji-yun's name in your sleep last night. You must be worried about her. Let's go see her. Yotayoth Arivith. Why drag me along to see your friend? Dokhin pointi toan yeonun. He insisted on bringing you. Long time no see, Hyung. How's Young Yuna these days? Do-jin was speechless at his sudden change in demeanor. But unexpectedly, they were met with a closed door. I'm so sorry. Ji-yun isn't in a good state to see anyone right now. It's all right. Just let her know we were here and send our best. Thank you for understanding. But who are you? I'm a cousin of Ji-yun's friend. Just as they were about to leave, Do-jin saw little Pink hiding behind the door. Wait, Dad, just let them in. Meanwhile, Lee Jae-hyung was waiting for someone. You've been waiting a long time, sir. It's an honor to finally meet you, young master. The person who arrived was none other than Shin Myung-hwan. What do you want? It's truly my honor to be of service. I don't want to waste time with pleasantries, Lee Jae-hyung said, pointing to his previously shot shoulder. Was this your doing? Shin Myung-hwan's face darkened. I don't understand what you're talking about. I checked the visitor log for that day. Your name is on it. Don't play dumb with me. Then I understand even less why you're asking me. You should know our target wasn't you, young master. I said don't play dumb. You think I don't know why you left me until last that day? Your target wasn't just Do-jin. It was me too, wasn't it? Shin Myung-hwan chuckled, looking down, quick on the uptake, and fond of rudely interrupting. Just like him. This time, he didn't deny it. As an apology, let me offer you some information. For the young master who refuses to rely on us, even in the slightest, consider this my atonement. I hope you'll accept it. I hear you've been worried about Do-jin lately. He plans to make a move on her. Lee Jae-hyung's pupils constricted. What? Back at Little Pink's house, her doting father was having a hard time accepting that his precious daughter actually had a male friend. Dad, please leave. Little Pink's dad left the room with a mournful look. Not even 3 seconds later, the door opened again. Do you want some fruit? No, Death. How many times are you going to do this? Even though he didn't come back in, they could still hear him muttering. Little Pink hesitantly spoke. Why are you here? Han Jong-un, suppressing Do-jin, started to improvise. He was worried sick about you. He cried all night. Are you feeling okay now? Actually, I don't remember anything that happened, so I'm fine. He patted Little Pink's head. It's better to forget bad memories. Just forget everything. Then he turned to Do-jin, frantically hinting. Hey, why aren't you saying anything? Do-jin started to speak. I came, but Little Pink cut her off. It's okay. I'm really okay. I'm the one who should be sorry. You're not acting like this because of that rank thing, are you? Because of the demotion. So that's why you've been so deferential. I don't care what rank you are. What I said that day wasn't because of that. What does any of that even matter? Little Pink lowered her head. What do you mean, any of that? Clutching her skirt, she asked, what do you know? Tears welled up in her eyes. You don't know anything. How can you say something like that? You're a transfer student, so you don't understand. But I've been dealing with this kind of thing for 2 years now. How lower-ranked students are treated. How people look at them. I've experienced it firsthand. Don't talk about things you don't understand. If I could just brush it off like it was nothing, then I would have... She covered her face with her hands, sobbing. I'm sorry. I don't want to be like this anymore. That's right. That's more like you. Little Pink looked up in surprise. I get it now. But that timid act from before, you should save that for other people, right? Just be like you were just now. Acting all hesitant just makes me inexplicably angry. Instead of doing dumbfounded. But if that's the case, why did you? You know, right? About my family. We have a lot of secrets. Dangerous people are always watching us. Things have been happening lately. He doesn't want you to get involved. He's just too shy to tell you the reason. Du Jin swatted Han Jong-un's arm. Close enough. The reason I acted like that wasn't because of some rank. It wasn't to distance myself from you. I was afraid you'd be in danger because of me. I don't care about the others, but I want to protect you. That precious, ordinary everyday life. Ji-Yun's tears continued to flow. Du Jin, feeling a little lost, listened as she spoke. You idiot. Why didn't you just say so? I really, truly thought you were distancing yourself because I became a level 3. Even though we didn't have the best start, I really like you. I like how you don't care what other people think. How you're always so confident. I even thought, I wished I could be more like you. If you weren't in my life, it wouldn't be a precious, ordinary, everyday life anymore. I really depend on you. Can't you depend on me too? That's what friends are for.